Yeah, we're good. We'll finish that later.
Yeah.
Make sure you're careful.
You ain't talking about nobody. No matter.
Tonight's pick'em show sponsored by
One love. There's that light.
Turn this on there. Oh, this because the Wi-Fi. I'm on.
Well, hello, Miss Mindy, and hello, Sam Bacon.
Ready, guys?
Yeah, but it's
Yes, sir.
Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Quarterfinal edition of the Game Pick Show. Season has flown right along, and only a few are left standing tall. The field has been cut in half. After this week, we will have Final Four in each bracket. Before you know it, the Dome will be here. Me and Gary booked our rooms last night, so we're ready for that weekend. But before we can get to that weekend, ladies and gentlemen, how about some turkey football that's sure in store? If you're still practicing, you're still playing on this week, what a great honor it is. I'm sure, like yourself here, 1994 was the last time, 2017 was the last time, so I know it's been a while for a few guys around where we're from, but those that are accustomed to playing to this week, it's a great deal to be playing on Thanksgiving week, so congratulations to those that are still practicing and playing. Good luck this Friday, and we'll see what happens after 48 minutes. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's a big week. We got some huge matchups, and we got a loaded panel tonight that's going to give you their thoughts on these games. They're going to give you their expectations, I guess you could say. I want to thank my guest pickers tonight for being here. Coach Seth, Coach Brent Angel from St. Ed's, from Port Barre. Welcome to the show. Coach, this is your second time here.
Yeah.
Coach, this is your first time here, so thank you very much. And first off, I'm going to turn things over to you guys. Talk about your seasons here for a minute. I know y'all would want to be practicing playing this week compared to sitting with me, but thank y'all for being here today.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, look, first off, Jordan, I absolutely love what you're doing with this. Under the Lights is something that's, really re-energized a lot of guys in high school football. I mean, it shows just how popular high school football is around here. A little bit about Port Barre's season. My first year taking over, we set a goal to make the playoffs. We had a 500 season. Look, there's really nothing I can complain about. There's some things we could have done better. There's some things we still need to work on. We're not anywhere near where I want to be at this point, but look, it was a fun ride down to Buras to play South Plaquemine in that first round playoff game. Our kids got a lot of valuable experience traveling, making the playoffs. And we are ready to roll for next year. So.
Well, I'm going to tell you, all I can say is that thank you for bringing the fire back to our alma mater.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
that was awesome. He did
Great
that.
job,
Great job.
for sure.
Great job when you first joined.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, we had a great year, man. We upset Oakdale. Only Jordan picked us. Remind everybody that.
Turn the night.
I don't think I did.
But
I think I was
no,
there for
man,
that one.
our kids fought all year, and we had a week one in the playoffs let down against Westminster. But this team that we coached this year, man, they gave everything they had, every snap, every play, every practice. I couldn't have been more proud of the results we got other than getting bounced in the first round. But like Coach said and Jordan said, I would love to be practicing this week instead of sitting at home on my couch waiting for the games on Friday. But on to next year and see what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Thank y'all guys for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts building here in Opelousas, Louisiana, central part of the Louisiana area. Covered the entire state of Louisiana for high school football. And we got some big-time games around the state of Louisiana for high school football. I got two guys sitting on a panel tonight that got big-time quarterfinal matchups this week. Mr. Alex, Mr. Chris, Opelousas is well represented in the quarterfinals and got a chance to very well have a chance to go play some semifinal football next week. Let's talk about those matchups real quick.
Yeah, we gotta go to Vacherie, Louisiana. It's Troy neck of the woods. But yeah, we playing some good football right now. Both teams, I want to say, me and Alex was just talking about that with the matchups, because Assumption and Lutcher plays in the same district.
Correct.
Right. And that's who both teams are facing. So we pretty much familiar. We know what they're going to bring to the table, what we bring to the table. Man, listen, our kids here in Opelousas are athletes. You know, and I put them against anybody in the state. You know, we just don't get the notoriety like everybody else do. But we're going to go out there and play some good football in that area. And hopefully we can be in the semifinals next week.
Yeah, Chris, we could have just got dropped off by OHS on the way because we're going to be a little bit north of y'all. But like you said, we know what the other teams are going to bring. We know what we got. Playing really good football, and it's going to be an exciting game, and I feel like San Luis Paris might be a little bit more recognized when they're playing in the semis next week.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's show is show number 70. We're on our way to 100, boys. So countdown to 100 as well on its way. I think we'll get there this is Wednesday night wise. I mean, if we combine the Friday night shows, the recaps, and then everything else, it would be a deal. But we just doing Wednesday night shows, so 70 pick'em shows. What a run it's been for Under the Lights. So thank y'all for being a small part of this run here on show number 70. Also, we hit a huge milestone after the Northwest game. I know Wassman poured into the chat, and 16,000 views later, we have reached 18,000 followers on Under the Lights. So it's a huge honor to know that many people has gotten on board and followed us these last 5 years. So thank you everyone for that. Also, this coming Friday, Mr. Gary Swallow, we will head to Logansport, Louisiana for the very first time. And this will be our very first time covering Logansport. So two things we're going to knock off. 46 different stadium we will get the opportunity to stream from. And Logansport will be the 81st different team we've covered in 5 years.
Right. That's actually awesome.
Yes,
And they're playing the local. They're playing Welsh.
They put on a heck of a display before the game too. I saw some film from it last week. So that's cool.
They do it well for 1A football.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially up there, Mark. You look at it. They all firework display.
Yep. Shipping dropping from the Texas border almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
Tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, is about giving thanks, and we're going to give thanks to everyone here, everyone in the chat. We're gonna talk a little bit of football tonight, but we're gonna give a lot of thanks. So I thought this show could be displayed on that. I want to wish everyone out there a happy Thanksgiving, and I'm sure I'll say it a lot of times tonight. I know this is a football show, but it's a great time of the year to be with family, friends, and loved ones. So,
absolutely.
Oh, most definitely.
And a group of friends tonight coming together on a Wednesday night. So it's a huge honor, and once more, thank you guys.
And it's early.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the picks, if you can hit the like, hit the share, let everyone know that quarterfinal picks are along the way. So I'm gonna turn things over to you guys. We got the second round done. We go into the quarterfinals now. Initial thoughts as we go into the quarterfinals. Some huge matchups this week. Ignar, give us your thoughts.
I think some of these brackets kind of played as to what I was thinking was going to happen. There were a few upsets that are still in there that kind of raised my eyebrows, especially Central BR going up to Neville and winning that game. That was huge.
Hey, me and Chris called it.
Y'all did. Y'all both did.
Good pick, Chris.
But I figured that game was going to be close, and it was. But I thought Neville was going to get it done. But there's outside of a couple of those upsets, some things kind of going to form and whatnot, and still some football left to be played, and there's still some a little bit of chaos that can be thrown into the mix.
Absolutely. Jake, quarterfinals are here. What's your thoughts?
Man, a lot of good teams still in it. A lot of blockbuster matchups. Obviously, touch on what he said with Central. Let's be honest, Coach is doing a heck of a job there at Central, turning that program around in year one. And I mean, Logansport versus Welsh. You're right up the road. You go on Highway versus North DeSoto. You got Acadia and Holy Cross. I mean, you got some blockbuster matchups all across the state. So, great time for some football. And as they say, the thinning of the herd begins tomorrow night.
You're right. You're right.
Or Friday night, I apologize.
Holden Lee, back here for the pick show. Quarterfinals are here. What has been the most intriguing thing through these last few weeks for you?
Upsets, which happens every year, which, I mean, it's easy to say, but it's true. Always love watching the underdog, man.
And somebody from your area is making a run at it. Mandeville, they looking good.
That's a rivalry, bro. I'm not going to acknowledge that.
Go Mandeville.
Or something.
Oh, man.
That is a hated rivalry.
Go Mandeville.
But
Gary, quarterfinals, talk to me.
quarterfinals, a lot of wows last week, a lot of exciting things this week. I think we're going to have probably a couple more upsets. I mean, because it happens every week. They have a team that gets up and there's an upset there. But man,
they're making their run.
yeah, I mean, right here, all that. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And heck, this week is going to go all the way into Saturday. So we got.
Out of all of our helmets, this is the final remaining
teams that we have
that are in the playoffs. Forward has been cut. Chris, quarterfinals are here. I know we talked about OHS, but the entire bracket that's shaping up. Some good matchups.
Yeah, like right now is like Northwest is the 22 seed. That's the lowest seed that's left in the playoffs. 22, and that, being a 22 seed.
Then you got 3 higher than 20 still in the playoffs. Incredible.
Right, but being a 22 seed, and a 21 seed. Some teams aren't a 21 or a 22.
Oh, absolutely.
We are at 12. West Feliciano was 4 last week. Like some teams, it's the district and how you play, and your out district conference. You know what I'm saying? You look at Lake Charles Prep. They went in there with a 3-7 record.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the teams that they played. You got a Westgate, Opelousas, St. Louis, the district.
St. Louis,
Iowa.
That's a tough. That's like
Every
the
team that
SEC
they played
West.
made the playoffs.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Almost, yeah.
And
Every team
that's
that they-
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Almost every team that they play, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
every
not all
team
of
And
that
them.
they
4
play.
different divisions, though.
Right.
So
Every team
that's-
and hell, Westgate is the only team that they played that's not in it no more. Them in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So they battle tested, man. It's gonna be fun. Alex and I really want to see that Opelousas take over in the dome. But we got to get past this week first. We can't overlook our opponents next week or whatever.
One game at a time.
One game
One
at
step
a
at a
time.
time.
Let's handle business, and everything gonna fall. Hopefully the chips fall in place, man, and we'll be doing the broadcast in New Orleans on Palms.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Alex, besides Northwest, well, you still got to look at some of these matchups and think to yourself, man, I'm still a fan of football, even though my Raiders are playing a big time football game Friday.
Yeah, for sure, Jordy. You know, you look across the state and you have powerhouses that have been powerhouses for a long time. You have people that are on a roll right now for the last few years that don't have a big history of football, 10, 15 years back. And you got some surprise teams. It's just, you have a mix of everybody, every different classification of powerhouse, newcomer, all of the above. And it's really cool to see. And, you see these matchups, you see upsets, you see people you never thought would have been there and beating teams that, they beat. It's what makes high school football so awesome. And it's been a blast covering it. And we got a couple weeks left, and I hate to see it go, but, man, it sure is fun.
Mm-hmm. Coaches, as a fan, I know you take the coaching side out of it, but you've been many places in your time. You've got coaching friends around the state. You got coaching friends around the state. When you start looking at these matchups, you see some of your friends out there playing in some of these big time games Friday. How fun is it for y'all as fans wise?
Well, I tell you, for me, I always look at my common opponents who I played against. Coach friends that I made along the way. Taking Northwest. Coach Edwards and I are pretty good friends. We've shared a lot of stories. We've shared a lot of ball over the last couple of years. Man, it's so exciting to see what he's doing. As a fan, I mean, you know where this is going.
Yeah.
There's the helmet sitting right here.
You got a lot of ties there, don't you?
I'm a proud Cecilia alum. I'm sure we got a couple guys from Cecilia watching right here. Look, I'm having flashbacks to my middle school days in 1995 and Cecilia went to the Dome. This team's for real, man, and they're playing great football right now. I mean, if you'd have told me they'd have hung 70 on Iota, at the beginning of the year, I would just, there's no way. But I mean, Diso Solari is one of the just most electric players still left in the playoffs right now.
He's for real.
He is. And like I said, growing up in Cecilia, still living in Cecilia, that whole town's buzzing. I mean, it's very similar to what's going on in Opelousas right now. I mean, there's signs going up everywhere. There's talk of the Dome. Everywhere you can't go into a grocery store, you can't go into a gas station without talking about, man, have you seen the game yet this year? Have you said you're going out to the game Friday night? Man, it's exciting. I wish we'd be in that position right now. But your
time will come.
It's definitely something I'm truly excited about. I get to watch my first Cecilia game of the season this Friday night. I get to go out in there and actually be able to be a Bulldog fan without feeling bad about it.
You know who Diesel reminds me of? Maybe not stat-wise because it's not fair, but he reminds me a lot of Puka Williams. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
Just the speed and how he can take over a game. It's just he reminds me a lot of
in every
Puka.
aspect. Offense, defense, special teams. He's
just so fast.
And he's not just a one-man show. They got a really good team.
But he's
he's definitely the catalyst, the guy that's driving that's guiding the ship there. But like I said, it's exciting, man. It's
what grade is he in? Anybody know?
Junior. He's got 1 more year after this.
Man.
Coach,
I'll say this: when you look at the brackets,
so let's talk about it. Hold on a second, because we do have a Katie and a Wrecking Rams alum sitting at the table also. So
Puka Williams is bad blood for him, man. I was at the game.
I was there too.
You brought up the name. But the tradition at Acadiana, the standard is high. What is being told to those guys this time of the year?
it's dome or bust. It really is. At Acadiana, when you start as a freshman, you get there, it's put into your
DNA?
genes, your DNA. It's
They got an
at
IV
the
that says
end of the
dome.
season. Exactly.
They inject you with
At
it.
the end of the season, if you're not playing in the Superdome for a state title, it's a fail.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure to put on a lot of kids. But the way they do it over there, it helps the kids. Because the coaches understand, look, it's football at the end of the day. We can go out, we can win it, we can lose it. It is what it is. But when I look at Acadiana, I look at it as an LSU, right?
Right.
If you're not making it to the national title, what you did. If you didn't make it to the SEC championship, what you did.
Right.
Yeah.
If you didn't win district, what you did.
Right.
So it's just a lot of pressure, but man, I've seen coaching staffs time in and time out, but the way Coach McCullough has that coaching staff working right now, they're doing a great job. And man, we're gonna get to it, but I think Acadiana's gonna get to it this year.
Okay.
And Coach, I'm gonna touch on that. I was there last Friday to watch Acadia and Karen Crow, and to see the camaraderie and the pageantry of just, and I get it. They've seen each other in district.
Yeah.
But a rivalry game, how the playoff game, how the level of competition was just much more.
So the way it is,
I mean,
we're all friends
Wow.
in high school. I mean, in middle school, we all half of us, 3/4 of us go to the same middle school.
Right.
And then when we leave middle school, go to high school, it's all right. I'm going to Karen Crow. I'm going to Acadiana. I'm going to Karen Crow. I'm going to Acadiana. And then to get to play against the guys that you played with in middle school in a
Or even
playoff
perhaps
game,
in a rec league, yeah.
much less a district game. Yeah. And then you have the fans turn out like they did at Acadiana last week.
Right.
And man, I tell you, it took me a while to park in there. I've never
It's
seen so
going
many
to.
people, and to see how
Minnie's on my side.
how tough both teams played. I mean, Coach, it just that there was no. They didn't want to give up a yard. I mean, there was a lot of turnover.
It's a
on
lot
downs.
of pride.
Right.
In those games.
I'm gonna tell you something that I saw earlier today. I saw as the time went off of the clock of the last game.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of
Yeah, the emotion
the emotion after. I saw a lot of the Acadiana players walk up to some of the
Well, you saw the clock
Cancro
hit.
players. And they were hugging them, and they were tapping them, and they were talking to them. They're friends.
Oh, absolutely.
They're friends. They're part of a community. But at the same time, they're rivals.
Because I watched it. You saw the clock hit, and you saw Acadiana sideline erupt, and then all of a sudden it died.
Yeah.
And
then
they
That game should have never been a second
they
round.
they went right on the field to
game was too good. It was
comfort
too good to
the
be on the
other
same
team
side.
because I mean I watched it. They had one guy that was on the ground with his helmet
all,
off,
man.
and a guy
The
came
second
up to
round,
him and
you
just
still gotta
hugged him, and I was like, I said, they get it.
Like-
They get what it's about, but at the same time they realize it's a game.
No guarantee they would have met
And
later
they
anyway.
so I was very impressed with that.
And like you said, a lot of those kids play middle school ball together.
And perhaps rec
They-
ball.
They go
together.
and then a lot of them I know personally they play rec ball together.
Yep.
They play the travel league and
Many said they
they
go
everywhere.
I think it's safe to say that game was too good for them to meet in the second
Absolutely.
round.
No,
That
absolutely.
comes to
That's
side.
a
If this was in the dome, oh my God.
That's true, but at the
Right, I
same
agree with
time,
that.
if they were on different sides of the bracket, there's no guarantee they would have met up later anyway. You still got to play them,
Yeah.
whether it's second
Right.
round or not.
But,
You know,
but when you looked at the matchup, when you saw the matchup, my mind automatically went back to 2011 when Acadiana had to play STM again in the semis.
Yeah.
I thought
Well,
2011. I thought wait,
and you
I
can
thought
go,
that was the year
Yeah.
y'all lost to Rumble. Was that
That's
2012?
2012.
2012, yeah.
That was my
and you
senior
can go
year.
back and say that because a lot of people was hoping with the Alumni Northwest and Applewood High, we could have easily met up in the first round.
Yeah.
Correct.
But what
We were thinking
It
about
was,
that.
it was,
We were
look,
looking
it
at
was,
the power
it was
rankings,
look, yeah, it was looking
Yeah.
that way
It
for a while.
did. It looked that way for a while.
so how it happened was everything was set for week one. I mean the first week, but Plaquemine beat West Feliciana
Yeah.
And that kind of
and
Week 10.
flipped
week
things
10.
over a little bit.
So all it did was jump. Plaquemine jump.
Yep.
West Feliciana didn't drop much. We knew Iowa and Cecilia was going to beat each other. One of them going to win, but they was too high to affect us.
Yeah.
But West Feliciana all to do is just win, and we'd have had that matchup. But you know,
I'd rather New Orleans.
and we rather do that. You know, so and listen, either team, if we don't make it or they don't make it, you know what I'm saying?
The support still
Bring
there.
that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's Opelousas.
Yep.
You know, they in Prairie Rome, but you got Opelousas address.
Y'all just think about that for a second. If there was one Opelousas school, it'd be the biggest 5A in the state, and would be one of the biggest powers.
indeed.
Oh,
We'd
God,
be
yeah.
one of the
It'd be
bigger powers.
unbelievable.
With all the athletes and talents here in the
But one thing back to like the brotherhood, I mean, y'all gonna understand how many of those Carencro boys are about to get on a car and drive to Hammond and watch
yeah.
Acadiana play.
Oh yeah.
lacrosse.
Oh yeah. They're gonna.
Yeah.
And that's
it's
what
how
you
it
like to
is.
see.
It's how it is.
It's a family. You know, whether you know it or not, you grow up. When you go through middle school, lower school, elementary school, and middle school, and then you have to go to you go to different places. That's where you become family in that middle area. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know about you. I still remember my friends from
You got
middle
kids
school.
from kindergarten.
Yeah, so it's
kindergarten,
crazy.
from pre-K.
I can't say this.
And when they get to
Any of
eighth
them.
grader, so I mean, it's I feel we may not have the notoriety and the recognition like Acadiana and Karen Pro do, but we have that here in Opelousas with Northwestern Opelousas.
Absolutely.
A lot of these kids, they go to school from pre-K to, and when the 8th grade hit,
Opelousas Northwest.
it is what it is. But at the end of the day, they are still friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
They still gonna support each other. They still on Instagram supporting each other. This and that. You see all of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Except for that week they play each other.
Yes,
right.
Still,
Exactly right.
With Opelousas Northwest, we only played each other once.
Yeah.
We don't count the jamborees.
Yeah.
We only played each other once in the school history.
Yeah.
Even when it was play zones before, we never did. What I think Coach Edwards and Coach Zachary, they talked. I think next year for week 5 is going to be on the schedule.
Nice.
And nothing set in stone,
Yeah.
but
That'd be nice.
yeah, and that's good for the community.
Absolutely.
Right. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick it in gear, boys and girls. So we talk about the matchup we have coming up Friday, Gary.
Right.
Logansport and Welsh. We want to say thank you to both coaching staffs and both administrations at the schools for allowing us to cover that game, because you know how this works.
Right.
This time of year, you start shrinking teams down, and it gets to the point where it gets tough for us to get a game.
Right.
And
it does.
we're not guaranteed a quarterfinal matchup, but to be calling a Thanksgiving game, a Thanksgiving week game for high school football is a true honor.
Right. Oh, most
So, I
definitely.
mean, this will be, we've covered a game every year for the quarterfinals, but semifinals has been 3 years in a row. We have not got a game,
Right.
but we do next week.
Yep.
So, ready for that.
Oh yeah. I'm excited.
But thank you to those guys, both administrations and both head football coaches, for the honor to cover the football game in the quarterfinals.
That's if they make it.
I got 3 options next week. They all said,
And
yes,
they all
you-
approved it.
All you can come
Almost
if we win.
instantly.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
see. All right, tonight's episode.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah.
We had an episode last night. We was in the emergency room last night. So
But tonight's show is about giving thanks. So that's where I want to lean before we go into our bracket picks. 'Cause I know everyone's here to see where the guys pick, but I thought it'd be a cool gesture if we talk a little thankful wise and get some things out of you guys. So I'm gonna go through everyone here and we'll get y'all answer from y'all. But we're gonna start out tonight's about giving thanks. So biggest impact person of your life as a coach growing up that you want to say thank you to on the show. We'll start with you, Enoch.
I had only played a couple of years at Beauchamp, but I helped them out all 4 after whenever I stopped playing or whatnot. I think coach who probably had the most influence on me personally was probably both of the Wagaspot coaches. They were there the first 2 years at Beauchamp, and old Wag unfortunately passed away a few years back, but both of them were very helpful for me as far as kind of growing into the man I am now. And there's other coaches I could throw in there too. I could throw Lewis. I could throw Coach Josh, Coach Abear. There's plenty of others I could throw in there as well. But I'm gonna probably just throw the two. Probably throw the 2 that just stick out the most because they were there at the beginning. So
Biggest impact tonight. We're giving thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
A coach that's been an impact in your life. Who we talking, Jake?
Yeah, Jordan, a coach has been the biggest impact in my life. And this was back in my freshman, sophomore year when I went to school in DeRidder for a while before I went back to Quincy. But the late Coach Mitch Mills, a fantastic man. He's no longer with us, had a heart attack years ago, but he was a very tough individual, but he loved you like a son. And he taught me a lot about work ethic on and off the field. We'd have talks about just everyday life, and he was like a second father to me.
Okay.
I miss him dearly. He's always near and dear to my heart. I'm having a tough day sometimes thinking about him and his advice he gave me in the past, and yeah.
Okay. Holden, biggest impact.
It'd be Coach Chris Blocker. He's my head coach. He's at the head coach for Covington now, but he had a big impact on me. He did a lot of things behind the scenes that I still can't talk about to this day, but we connected on. I lost his contact information, but thank God for Twitter and social media, so I was able to find him, and we connected again. So that was pretty cool.
Gary Swallow,
Oh,
you've been around a lot of coaches in your life.
Yeah, I've been around a lot of coaches in my lifetime. But as far as the one that set the example, and there's three. I'm gonna tell you straight up. There's three of them. Coach Donnie Perron, Port Barre, legend.
Knew that one was coming.
That one's he's at the top of the list. And two people that he brought in that were also head coaches, Bruce Broussard and Bill Ducassin. Didn't get a chance to play for them, but I got a chance to be around the program. I was, with Donnie, I was involved with everything, but with Bill and Bruce, I got to know them a lot later. And I'm gonna tell you, those three individuals were so important to me growing up. And I want to just say thank you, because I was telling that to Coach a while ago. Coach Perron was in my freshman year of high school, Coach Perron was my physical science teacher. And, that's how I got to meet him. And now I consider him a very good friend as well.
Chris, biggest impact that you would like to give thanks to tonight on the show?
Coach Larry Daughtry.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Heard a lot of stories about him.
legendary
Him too.
Hall of Famer, Louisiana Hall of Famer coach. Every quarterback that he touched did amazing things. From the Sam George to Kevin Malbrough and to Ryan Perrilloux. Like, this guy was a offensive mastermind. We were running the spread offense before the spread offense was even invented. And the life lessons that he taught us, how to work hard to get where you need to be at. We hit the practice field at 3 o'clock. We would get out at 8. Parents are coming to the school. Their kid ain't home it's dark. He ain't at home. He said, "I got your child. Don't worry about it." We get on the bus. He drop us home on the bus. Till this day, we still in contact. Most likely, he's gonna be at the game Friday. Larry Daughtry, he was a father figure to a lot of young men back then at that time when you really needed it.
Alex?
Yeah, I have two. One, Coach Chris Edwards at Northwest. His first year was my first year at Northwest. We both did some time at the same private school before. He went to a private school and then transferred out, and I went to the same school, transferred to Northwest. So we kind of had, a connection there, and it was all new to me. So, he kind of took me under his wing. I would, spend a lot of time in his office during lunch, and whenever I needed something, I'd go to him, and had a lot of things outside of school, just in regular life that, we helped each other with when we needed something. And another guy, Kevin Manuel, who was also my baseball coach at Northwest, to this day, we hang out, we watch football games, we go, camp at Toledo Bend. It just became more of a friend and a second father for both of those guys to me. And if there's anything I ever needed, I can call them, either one of those guys any time of the day, and they coming. So, it's just coaches like that, you'll never, you can never repay them for what they did, and never forget them.
Yes, sir. Coach Angel?
Man, there's so many names that just come to mind. I've known I wanted to be a coach since I was like 9, 10 years old. So it's not like I had that epiphany in high school that a coach, changed my life and anything. But I mean, obviously Coach Wagaspack at Cecilia, he's just a guy you look up to growing up if you're from there. Coach Pee Wee Guidry at Cecilia, just their attention to detail, how they handle practices, how they handled success. Was definitely something I took with me. In my career, Coach Paul Broussard at Breaux Bridge. I always knew I wanted to be a head coach. I mean, a lot of young coaches come in with with big dreams and big aspirations, and you come into the job thinking you know everything about football. He was quick to show me how much I didn't know. And, you know, I mean, I took a lot of what he's taught me and brought over to Fort Barry. So he's definitely probably the biggest influence on my career to this point. Definitely Paul Broussard at Bridge was a big impact on me.
Coach?
I got two. Coach Ted Davison at Acadiana. He embodied what it was to be a head coach and actually be able to see over his kids. He never really told you a lot, but he hollered at you a lot, and he made you learn your life lessons through football first and foremost. I mean, he would break us down, then he'd build us right back up. Made us make sure that every decision we made was the right one. His door was always open for anybody to go in there, and he really was one of the best head coaches I've ever been around. Not just because I played for him. Another one, a lot of people won't know the name, but Taylor Butte, he runs Acadiana Christian Athletics, the homeschool association.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
heard of
I
him.
know.
One
One of my friend's sons plays for
He gave me
ACA.
my first big chance to coach. 19. He called and he was like, "Hey, you want to come be my defense coordinator?" I had only been position coaches. I was like, "Yeah, let me throw a defense together. Let's roll." Well, I mean, through that 2009 year, it was basically me and him running the show the whole year as two coaches, and we won our D3 national title in Panama City. Defense gave up, I believe it was like only 187 points all year. But Taylor gave me the chance. He helped me not be my coaches before. Because the one lesson a coach learns is you can't be who you played for. You got to be your own coach. You got to figure out your own way, your own path. And when I got there, I tried being an old school Ted Davison, Neil Leger, Coach Fontenot, hollering, yelling, the whole nine yards. And he's like, "Whoa, figure out your coaching style. Figure out how you need to be. Be the best coach you can be. Don't try to replicate what somebody else has done."
Right.
And that stuck with me throughout my whole year.
A lot of kids don't relate to that.
Exactly.
And then as time goes, the way to coach, coaching has to evolve.
It has to evolve. Absolutely.
Got that. So mine was, and a lot of people might call me crazy, but mine's family. Coach Mack. So I was ineligible for my senior year of sports. So my thought process was, well, once sports are over, that's it. I'm not coming back to school. I'm not finishing my senior year, because I had the wrong mindset going into it. So whenever I was at my quitting days, Coach Mack and the late Coach Duke approached me, and they didn't have to approach me the way they did. Like they could have came and said, "Hey, get you together. You don't know what you're doing." But they came and said, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do for you. We're gonna allow you to come be a student coach for us for football and baseball this year. That way you can still feel a part of the program and still have that little edge, and you can stick this out. You can get your degree, and you can graduate with your classmates, and you'll never miss a Friday night. You'll never miss a baseball game and a trike meeting, this and that, because you're going to be a student coach for us all year." And I didn't even know that was a possible thing, but they were looking in my best interest at the time, because my head was not in the right place, and I had every intention to drop out at that point, because my junior year was my senior year of sports, so what was the point to come back? So it wasn't the right mindset then, but Coach Mack and Coach Dupe approached me that day and really got myself, and I was a student coach, and all these years later, I'm still helping out with you for football, and going to be helping out with Miss Michelle with softball. So still, I think that's we're 10 years now, so still around the game. So That's my story.
That's good.
So I want to thank those guys for pulling me aside that day. Let's see. We're gonna stick with you, and we're still giving last thanks before we go into the picks. Growing up, who got you into this sport and made you fall in love with the game? Who you want to give thanks to?
Man, it really was just me.
You?
Like, none of my parents played football. My mom played softball, dad played baseball and basketball. They told me, nope, you're not playing football. Nope, you're not playing football. I was like, no, I was trying to go play football. And it was basically that and Coach Cook. He was my head coach at Scott Middle. And when I told him, I was like, Coach, I want to play football, he's like, come on. And he took me under his wing, taught me the game, and helped me fall in love with it. And
Okay.
man, every time football ends for me, it's a sad, sad day.
Coach?
Well, mine's pretty simple. My big brother.
Okay.
I mean, my brother and I grew up. I mean, you talk about we could have been identical twins in mindset, just interest. I mean, now we don't look like it all, but but I mean, whenever sport was in season, we were outside playing it. We grew up out in the backyard, throwing the baseball, throwing the football. So I mean, it was easy when you have somebody you look up to, and you have somebody that's a couple years older that that you get along so well with. Like I said, it made it easy to fall in love with sports because I mean, I think a lot of our friendship, as brothers, grew from sports. And then just kind of on a side note, what I'm very appreciative of the parents I had that allowed me to love sports. I say this all the time about my dad. My dad was not a phenomenal athlete. He coached my little league team a couple of years when he didn't have anybody else to do it, but he would rather just sit in the stands and watch. What I appreciate the most about him, and what I mean by I say he allowed me to love the sport. He never forced me into the batting cages. He never forced me to go play outside. He never forced me into camps, but he never told me no when I wanted to go. He was not that dad that was hooping and hollering in the stands. Call this play, call that play. Basically embarrassing his child.
Right.
He was that dad that hey, you don't think you're playing enough? Suck it up, practice harder. I come home complaining about the coaches or complaining about. I mean, I was a kid. I mean, it's what we do. Like I said, his answer was always the same. Suck it up. You committed to it. Suck it up. You play. And I mean, look, growing up, I've been around parents like this, and I've been around, in the coaching profession, we've all been around parents that, make it difficult.
Yeah.
Sometimes I guess would be a nice way to put it. And I'm just so grateful to be able to grow up with parents that weren't like that. And like I said, they allowed me to love what I was doing, and they made it my decision, not theirs.
Alex, growing up.
Yeah, so I'm a little different. I'm really just thankful to the game itself because growing up, we would, the high school my sister and my brother went to, we would follow them everywhere. If the football team was playing a playoff game, it didn't matter if it was at Evangel or, John Curtis, we were going. Me and my dad, mom, we'd hop in the car, we would go get there early, tailgate. Me and my dad reminisce so many times about all the trips we've made over the years and seeing all these different stadiums, all different parts of the state, and go and watch good football games. And I remember kids, like, I don't know if anybody will remember them, but Arima brothers, Roland and Ronald, they were twins, and I was maybe 5, 6 years old. I remember plays they made, and it's just, it's so many people like that. It's the game itself is something to be thankful for in high school sports, and I think that's part of it. Wow, I'm still fired up to be a part of it and cover it and follow it at this this point in time because there's so many great memories of my childhood and my life. So I think that's it. Just the opportunity that we get to have to watch the game and be a part of it.
Chris?
Man, my friends and my cousins. like back then, your parents tell you go outside, don't come back till the sun come out.
Yeah.
You got to do something. We playing everything from tackle football in the street. That's why this scar on my face. Baseball. Sneaking out to go swimming. Can't swim. Love to drown. And we just did it all. We just did it all. And you know, I really wasn't into football because I didn't want to get hit. I thought that was brutal. That was like punishment. And then my cousins, them, they was all play the Satoma football at opposite high every weekend. And I just been watching play. And at the time I couldn't play because of the weight limit. I really, you know, so, you know, just the friends and the cousins and just playing, and, you know, then finding out my dad was a good football player. So I wanted to be better than him. You know, I could never reach that level and get a state title. He got a state title. Unfortunately, I have 3 younger brothers. They all have state titles. So I'm the only one without a state title.
Hey, day when that happened.
Yeah, I mean, my brothers have it in track. My other brother, he has it in wrestling. You know, so you know, just it's in your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to find some kind of way to get it out.
Right.
And I guess the friends and playing in the neighborhood got it out.
There you go.
That's good.
Garrett?
Well, my brother, who is 10 years and 10 months older than me, used to have a little guy running around watching him. He used to throw the football at me. He'd say, "Go catch," and he'd throw it and he'd try to see if he could knock me down. And I watched him play. Great, you know, Aubrey Swallow. I watched him play all while he was in school. Then I guess watching him made me like it and make my daddy say, "Hey, Daddy, bring me to the game." You know, that my daddy did not like sports. My daddy did not have an inkling of what a sport was. He worked all his life. But he'd bring me to the games and I'd watch, and that was back in the old days whenever the field was behind the school. So, I mean, we'd run around, stop, and I was one of the kids that was playing football behind the bleachers, and all of a sudden I would stop, the game would start, so I'd go sit down in the box that was in the front that I wasn't supposed to be in, but I'd sit there anyway. And I watched great athletes at Fort Bear, and Mike Kaiser was the one that caught it was one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play, and then it just kept on escalating from that as I got into it. But my brother Aubrey was the one that got me hooked on.
Okay. Holden?
Jordy he's played with me in competitive softball, so he can pretty much. I'm probably one of the most competitive people there is, and I know people say that, but it's legit. It's an old saying that I hate losing more than I like winning. That I hate losing, whether it's playing a video game, shooting basket, whatever.
I can't stand it.
I hate it. Like Jordy, sometimes we would play NBA. I would get mad at him for like that 30 minutes because if he beat me. And then I'm good after that, though. I'm not a sore loser. I'll be all right after that. But it's just, I guess I had it in me when I was a kid, and my family just allowed me to just hit people, and I liked it. And that's how it is.
Jake?
Yeah, man. For me, it was my dad. My dad played way back when at Mamu High, back in the late 70s, early 80s. Played nose tackle. And growing up, you know, my brother played baseball, hardcore in baseball. But my dad would I mean, he was ate up with it. He would literally wake me up as a little tot, say, "Hey, come on, boy, watch Monday Night Football." And I was so fascinated with it, sitting. And there was times like, "Dad, I want to go back." No, it's okay. The game's almost over 3 hours later.
Yeah.
But it made me really. I got so fascinated with it, watching the likes of Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe, growing up as a kid, Steve Young, and then, you know, as like I said, as a toddler, little tot, we'd go to Quincy football games. My sister was in the band. My brother was in the band. He played also football and baseball. And I got so fascinated, and then I got really fascinated when more invested when we'd all go to the McNeese games. When McNeese was doing really good way back when Tommy Tate was coaching. I'm sure we all know that name. And just Dad really taught me the game, the ins and outs of it, and just every little detail. I was so fascinated because I'll tell you, I have a little part in my phone, my notes. I put all these stats, crunch the numbers. Look, I got all the schedules. I'm just for some reason so ate up with it, and more than and Dad told me one day, "Dang son, you more ate up with it than I am." I said, "Well, I learned it from you, Pop." and he's because let me tell you, I truly value the game of football as not only a life lesson, not only bringing people together, but when it comes to a small town on a Friday night, that's all some of these towns got. It's all Fort Mary's got. That's all Eunice or Mamu's got, or DeQuinn. And it brings the communities together. It's something to look forward to. If you're having a bad day, it's something good to get something off your mind, and to watch both teams compete and just play a game, that teaches you these life lessons when you get older, when you get a job, when you get married, when you have children. The game of football is not just X's and O's, hitting somebody, running, scoring a touchdown. It really, if you really let it consume you in a good way, you really understand and learn that, hey, I can take these values, core values, and these life lessons that Coach taught me and apply this in life. I mean, and I'm forever grateful my dad taught me to present the game of football to me.
It's good.
You not?
It's a little different. Like I never had any brothers that could have pushed me into that way. All of my cousins were either a lot older or a lot younger than I was. Most of them a lot older than me. My dad kind of sort of helped as far as like get me interested in the game of football. I think when I was like 11 or 12, I started keeping up with the NFL, started keeping up with college football, became a fan of LSU, and then the Lions for pros, who are finally good now. But I mean, whenever I threw out the idea going into 8th grade, whenever I threw out that idea to my parents, hey, I'm thinking about playing football this year, they were both supportive. They weren't against it, but I mean, my dad he did tell me that, certain things that I should expect, because he played football for a couple of years in high school as well. He played for Loreauville. But he was like, look, you need to expect this, this, and this, and whatnot, and understand that, this is a contact sport, you could get hurt, there's a lot of things that could, there's a lot of different things that can happen in there. You just got to be aware of the risks, and I was. And, sadly I didn't play all 4 years. He ended up getting lung cancer, 12 years in remission now almost. So,
Good.
yeah. But that pushed me away from playing, but I was like, I still want to help the team out whichever way I can. So junior and senior year, I did the stats for him and whatnot. I don't regret it, Our teams weren't particularly great when I was in school, but I mean, I still loved the team. I still cared for him, was still helping him out even through this year, donating my time to do that. So, I guess I could probably say it would be my dad, but I mean, I had to make that choice by myself at the end. But he kind of helped push me in the right direction, I think.
Good.
Well, I had a good childhood, I guess you could say, growing up. I was 5 years old following my older brother whenever they made their state championship push in '99 when Pillsbury went to the Dome and was runner-up to Iota. And then I was 8 years old when my middle brother went to the Dome and won it. So from that timeline, I saw a lot of great Pillsbury football games. So it was a special time in my young childhood life where I never missed a game. I was always at the den with the guys. I ended up waiting outside the locker room to see everyone come out after the game was over. We went to every road game. It was like I was this young kid, and all I could think about was Friday Night Lights. So at that young age, but that's when they're going to make big time playoff runs and state title runs. So to grow up as a kid and see that was special indeed. But That's where my love for it was. My two older brothers both played in the Dome, so we've seen those great runs.
Oh yeah.
So I just thought it's a Thanksgiving show. I thought we should give some thanks tonight. I hope y'all don't mind.
Not a problem.
Not at all.
Let's go. That was good.
So we talk about the matchups this coming Friday, and there is one that was moved to Saturday also. Some of those games will be streamed this week. I'll give you those options if you're interested in watching some of these games. So VSN will carry 8 games this week. John Curtis versus Catholic of BR, Shaw versus John F. Kennedy, St. Michael versus St. Thomas More, Opelousas versus Lutcher, Jennings versus Cecilia, Episcopal versus Newman, Lake Charles College Prep versus U-High, Acadiana versus Holy Cross, all on VSN. You can catch those games live on their platform. That's 8 great games that you'll have the opportunity to watch this coming Friday. If you're a fan of football, and if also a Saturday, if you're a fan of football, turn on that broadcast and pick out your favorite game or flip back and forth.
That's what I would do.
Hey, the hash out game of the week this week, ladies and gentlemen, will be Riverside versus St. Martin's Episcopal. So you can catch JB and the boys covering that game this week. So Riverside and St. Martin's Episcopal. Riverside, really good running back. St. Martin's Episcopal, Holland Berry. 2 tailbacks. They're going to go at it. NFHS, I know they have the North Dakota game versus Iowa. I know Airline and Mandeville. That's who they're playing, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they also cover in that game. I know Oak Grove has their games on the NFHS. So if any other NFHS games, please leave them in the chats, ladies and gentlemen, for the fans can know where they can watch their games. KWBJ TV 22 Facebook page posted that they're going to be covering the game on their YouTube channel. So Assumption versus Northwest will be on that page. They'll post the link on their Facebook page, but it will be their YouTube channel. So Assumption and Northwest fans out there, that game will be streamed. Bogalusa Sports Network, they will team up with Flying Ghost Productions and bring you Bogalusa versus Union Parish. So that game will also be streamed. Wolfpack Broadcasting Network will have St. Paul's versus Rummel. Your View, which is Cox Television, they will have St. Charles versus Notre Dame. Night Vision TV will have LCA versus McDonald 35. Braden says 24 games across the state will be streamed, counting you guys. NFHS, YouTube, and VSN. Okay. If I missed any, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the chats. We would love to jot them down. That way, when we're on the road, we can check out some of these games on Friday. And if anybody at the panel would like to also look into some of these matchups. I know a lot of us will probably watch that Saturday game or just back and forth to tune in.
Right.
And then Crescent City Sports will have St. James and Manny. That was the one I couldn't remember.
Right.
Okay.
A really good one there.
Yes, sir. So we're at that time of the week, ladies and gentlemen, where it's time to make some picks here with the panel. Only 32 games this week. Hey, we got through 64 last week, so I know we're gonna have some fun with this one. It's quarterfinal matchup, ladies and gentlemen. It's Turkey Week. Somebody's gonna have a date in the semifinals. 48 minutes away. Punch your tickets. I know it's a great feeling to have turkey dinner tomorrow with the team, but I know it's all business once Friday gets here, and the teams have been working all year for it. Sterlington and Generette will also be on the YouTube page. So
I think Sterlington has their own platform, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Sterlington
wrong.
Panther football.
Yes.
So
on
they put
YouTube.
Sterlington / Generette. So shouldn't that be Sterlington /
Yeah, they.
Pine?
Yeah. Pine and Sterlington are playing.
Yeah.
General's got Haynesville.
Okay.
Okay,
So
that's
there's
what I
another
thought.
option there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Sterlington matchup.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to follow along with the panel tonight, you can do so by leaving your picks in the chat. Hey, calculate what you did at the end. Let us know on the recap show exactly how you fared. The winner of Week 12, Mr. Alex Fontenot, here to try to reclaim his title tonight. First win of the season, so congratulations, my friend.
Appreciate it, Jordan.
I know I haven't won a week in a while. Gary hasn't won a week in a while, and Holden hasn't won a week in a while. Chris, been a while?
It's been a while since week 2.
Week 2 for you. Jake?
I'm 1-1 right now. One last year and I lost one this year.
Okay, and so we got trying to get it for the first time.
Like I said, I'm going 1-0 and I'm retiring.
You want to know your time?
Go out on top.
That's right. Ain't no
Record last week.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this ball rolling. We're going to start off with Division 4 non-select. We'll work our way across the room. Some of these matchups, if we feel that it's a little bit where we feel like it's going to be a lopsided game, we'll just go quick picks across the board.
Yeah.
Okay? But if we feel these games need to be talked about, we'll slow it down a little bit. But we'll start with the game that myself and Gary will be covering. Number 1 seed Logansport Tigers versus the 8 seed Welsh Greyhounds. Greyhounds, they're red hot right now. What they won 7 of the last 8 or 8 of the last 9, Chris?
Something like that.
They coming in. I mean, it's a 2A versus 1A kind of deal. So do you put that in perspective? And also, Logansport on a Friday night. I heard it is nuts over there.
Yes,
Their home field advantage.
Yes, it is.
And over there at Tiger Stadium, they call it AKA the Jungle. It's going to be something to see, and we get
to see it.
What an honor it is for the very first time to get out there. Greyhounds and Tigers. It's going to be a great football game. We'll start here from Mr. Enoch. Who wins this one?
I think this game will probably be close all the way through. Being in Logansport at home, I'll take them. I'll take Logansport.
Home field, okay.
Home field, I think we'll give them the advantage.
And a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, myself and Gary will be calling the game, so we do not have a pick here. To keep things fair, we're how you say that, Gary? We have no dog in the race. We're gonna show up and we're gonna call a great game.
Yeah, we just gonna shut up.
Yeah, Jordan, I'll tell you, Logansport's an electric atmosphere always, no matter who they're playing. Their school and their community is a lot like Manny. Everything pretty much shuts down at 5 o'clock almost. It's like a Texas type of town, and so it's going to be a rocking atmosphere. But yes, yeah, right there.
About 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's a 3-hour road trip for me and Gary.
Yeah, they're going to take care of you. They're going to take care. Yeah, give me Logansport big.
Okay, Logansport for J.A. Holden, who you like?
I like Logansport.
Okay. Mr. Chris?
I like them Texas kids.
They're right there.
Might as well.
They're right on the border, man.
Right there.
There's the
East Texas.
There's the line.
Walk
There's
across
the
the
line.
river.
There's
Trust me, I know.
Logansport.
Trust me, I know. The river separates them,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Alex?
Yeah, give me Logansport.
and they don't have a school right across the.
Yeah.
Down the road,
Coach.
Joaquin.
I'm going Logansport.
And they've been number 1 all year. They've been over there.
Okay, so one more for you.
I'm gonna go Logansport.
Okay. What's your name, sir? Seth? The question is, will the recap show be in the back of a truck at the Whataburger on the way home?
They got
Yeah,
one
I'm
in
fine with
Nacogdoches.
that.
That's
Right off of
a
49.
possibility.
They do have a Whataburger.
Right off of 49 Nacogdoches.
No, in Logansport.
They do.
Cross. Oh, you gotta go in
Oh,
Texas, though.
Yeah.
If I could,
So you gotta, so you gotta go on the Texas side to get.
Oh,
to get
yeah.
to the
All the
water.
way back from
Backtrack.
Washington, we
But
did
it ain't
the
that far,
recap
like,
show at a
down
Whataburger parking lot.
Logansport is probably so Texas you can see the Whataburger in the stadium across the river.
Yeah.
Probably could. There's a possibility we might.
Gary, which one? Okay, okay. Yeah. All right. Hopefully, it's going to be a great, safe drive for us, and we see a great game.
Yeah. And then we have a safe drive back because it's going to be
Absolutely.
3 hours going, set up, and then we're going to tear down and then drive 3 hours back.
Yes, sir. And then LSU plays at 11 a.m. the next morning.
That's going to be
Why
hard.
11
Ryan.
a.m.? Why?
Yeah, anyway.
All right, Juniorette and Haynesville, 4 versus 5 here. Somebody just put in the chats. Let's see, 99.3 the Peach We'll have that one. Red Peach Sports app. If you would like to follow that game, thank you so much in the chat there.
The Arkansas Network.
Okay. Yes, because where Haynesville is, yes, you're right,
You're right.
my friend. That's a long road trip for
Big issue with
Generette.
this border town.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one. Yes.
Oh, look at that.
You can spit across
Take a look. I'm
in
surprised
Arkansas.
this wasn't the farthest trip this week. Generettes and Haynesville. Somebody actually beat this trip out.
I know.
So do we go local here? Do we say that, all right, we lean towards the local team here. We want to see another local get past this round? Or the Golden Tornado at Red Franklin Memorial Stadium too tough? Enoch,
Oh man.
you leaning towards the local?
I want to so badly. I want to pull for Generette so badly.
Pull
in this
for the
game.
local.
All right.
Demanding
I'm gonna
it.
change my pick. Let's go with Generette.
Give it to me.
Yeah,
That's where I won up him, coach.
You gotta watch it, man. He's dirty.
I tell you, I'm back this week.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying it didn't work in week 2.
I
It made me pull for a local and it
I
pulled
ain't
off.
throwing up this week.
He ain't walking out saying here. He ain't walking out.
Jake, who wins this one?
Haynesville's on their way to their 18th state title. They continue their quest this week. Big Haynesville.
I like that. Okay, 18th state title.
I know, that's
like
Second,
number
second
2.
most in Louisiana history.
Tremendous honor.
Yeah.
Holden,
Yeah, I mean Haynesville's been on a roll since they lost to Oak Grove, and Generette's been on a roll since they lost to Vermilion Catholic. But I like Haynesville, man. I really do.
Mr. Gary,
I'm gonna give the edge to Haynesville, home field advantage.
Chris.
Yeah, I don't go against the home team, and Jasper is a real good friend of me and Alex, so I'm going with Haynesville.
Okay.
Yeah, Haynesville gonna set up a real good game with Logansport next week.
Coach.
I'm kind of rolling with them. I mean, home field advantage, experience. To me, experience is a big factor here. Haynesville's
They've
used
been
to
here before.
Haynesville's used to being there.
Right.
Yeah.
This week's it's foreign territory for Generate. I love what they've been doing. I think they got a great football team that they had the last couple of years.
Yep.
I just think experience wins over here. It's gonna be
I
Haynesville.
like that.
I'll say this: week 1 and week 2 of the playoffs, a lot of people can just win. Quarters to the finals, you need
Start
to
separating
have
yourself.
been there before.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
gotta
a
have that
different
experience.
atmosphere. It's high school football, but it's a different, it's a
I think
different
in most
breed.
cases,
It's
I think in
different
most cases,
pressure.
Once
You
you
gotta be
pass the
balanced.
second round,
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
You got to know how to win those games, and for that, I'm going Haynesville.
You was about to say something?
No, I'm good.
Hey, I got it.
Watch on long dog and I'll be.
Wait, let me go ahead and change my pick.
If they win, he is gonna dog us all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Rightfully so. He gonna cut cornrows.
Our area code in Texas, there's no service. Right?
Oh, y'all gonna get a message. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Like I told y'all. Like I told y'all.
The number you have called is not in service
I
at this
can't
time.
hear you.
I like the
Signal
Golden
too
Tornado
fast.
at home. Sets up a huge matchup in the semis with Logansport. That one's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, Oak Grove Mangum. Oak Grove to be the champ, you gotta go take down the champ. And Mangum got their hands full this week. Can they do it? Gonna be tough sledding. Who wins it?
I think I have Oak Grove. I think whenever we did the playoff bracket reveal, I had Oak Grove winning state again.
All of
I'm
it.
not
I think
going
a lot
against
of
it.
A majority of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot
I'm
of
not
us
going
did.
against it. Oak Grove takes care of business.
Jake?
Buddy, I'm gonna tell you, playoffs or no playoffs, these two do not like each other very much at all.
Heated rivalry up north.
It don't matter whether they're playing at Mangum or an Oak Grove or in a mud pit. It's usually close. I know they played earlier in the season. Oak Grove won by a score and a half or more. But expect Mangum to come out fighting. I think
I
this
agree.
could very well come down to late in the fourth. But give me the Oak Grove Tigers.
Holden?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a battle, man. But I still think Oak Grove is gonna take it.
Garrett?
Me too. Oak Grove.
Chris?
And Mangum been a sneaky, quiet team this year,
They always
Always.
but not this week. I'm going with Oak
The
Grove.
road ends on Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alex?
Oak Grove.
Coach?
Keep it rolling. Oak Grove.
I guarantee we're gonna have some disagreements in a little while.
Probably.
Oak Grove.
Oh, man, that's cross.
It's gonna be across the board, ladies and gentlemen.
So watch Megan pulls off the other
We gonna all be crying. Oh man.
Give me Oak
That
Grove,
happens sometimes.
Yeah,
and not because our buddy would come meet us in the dome again if they make it.
that's right.
Shout out to our friend from Oak Grove.
Oak Grove got a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
quarterback, too. Big,
He knows
big
his
body
stuff,
quarterback.
that's for sure.
Good looking kid.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, this one, I don't know. Y'all talk to me about this 7-2 matchup here between Homer and Kentwood. Y'all think they match up well here? You think it could be
Then we might have
It
some
could be,
disagreements here in a second.
it could be a better game than what people are making
Oh,
it
yeah.
out to?
Oh,
Definitely.
Yes.
It's an awesome
I
game.
think- oh,
Yes.
All right.
George can be the only
I'm
Go ahead.
torn.
No.
I'm torn.
No, I'm not.
Oh, we know who you're picking.
I know that.
You ain't even got to say it.
Yeah.
The water tower
The water
strikes
tower.
again.
Yeah,
That's right.
The water tower
Oh,
strikes
let's go.
again for Mr. Swallow.
You
All
know
right,
what?
Braden says Kinder by 2 to 3 touchdowns. What do y'all think down there?
It might be more than that, Braid.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a foolish Cinderella top down.
After you're done with your pick, cap me off again.
In other words, go grab him more water.
Right, gotcha. Okay, so after my foolish Cinderella didn't work out, I'm gonna just say it for Gary. The Ruse.
Yeah, his Cinderella.
I like you.
The Ruse by 4.
That's worse than
The Ruse win by 4. This is gonna be a close game throughout. The Ruse are gonna have to really fight every
Nothing could be Nuts Kappa.
Oh no.
Oh, what?
Where is
Go
Nuts?
ahead.
Tag him in the comments, ho.
Yeah, where's Nut at?
Huh? What we got?
Tag him in the comments.
Probably sleeping.
Man, I'll tell you.
You know,
Look,
He said,
I know Oakdale played Homer tough
You
last
want to?
week, 34-32. I think Oakdale's a little bit better than what they got credit for, but I think Homer's still a tough outing. Yes, they're playing under the water
Enoch.
tower.
Yeah.
Yes, they're playing under the water tower. I don't think
Upset
this is
alert.
going to be a pushover. No, I'm going Kentwood, but it's not going to be easy. Give me the Ruse.
Okay, Ruse. Holden?
Yeah, man, you gotta look. Kenwood's lost to a 4A school, Powerhouse in Walker, and he lost by 2 to Southern Lab, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
I mean, no disrespect. Homer's schedule has been kind of It's just I like Kenwood by at least 2 touchdowns.
Garrett?
Oh, you know who I'm going with.
You going with
The
one?
Ruse under the water tower. Let's go.
That's one of his favorite teams in the state.
All my life I loved them Ruse.
Britney Spears.
Oh,
Shout out Britney Spears.
yeah. Okay, whatever you say.
Go Brittany, baby.
Oh my God.
That's why he likes Kentwood.
Alex?
Oh, my.
Yeah, give me Kentwood big.
Had to.
Coach?
Had to, bro.
I don't think it's gonna be much of a fight. I think Kentwood's gonna take control early and go all the way through.
Seth? Homer?
I like that pick, man.
You're just trying to save the panel
No.
like Kirk Herbstreit.
No, it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight. And
You look at
I don't
Homer
think it's gonna be
the
a
last
big of
2
a
years.
blowout as people may think it's gonna
Oh
be.
no, and it's not gonna be a blowout at all.
No, I think it's going to be
It's gonna be
one
tight.
score.
It's
I
gonna
think
be
it's going to
tight
be a
to the
one score
fourth.
game.
4 points.
Be tied to the fourth, and I think Homer's gonna pull it off.
Really?
Coach said, yeah, it was okay.
Okay.
I like Kentwood under the water tower. I think Oak Grove Kentwood sounds so much it sounds so right in the semis. Y'all agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
We almost had across the board the entire bracket there, but Seth wants to be difficult.
Hey, but if Homer wins, I'm gonna be happy, and if Generette wins, he's gonna be happy.
There you go.
That's right.
I forgot about you also.
Yeah.
Y'all some difficult fools here, but I like it. Yeah,
We gotta have some controversy,
That's
man.
why I brought y'all on, so y'all could pick those 2 teams. All right, here we go. Division 4 select, but before we go there, good luck to those. Is it 8? Yes, 8 teams in Division 4 non-select. 48 minutes awaits. Go and punch your ticket to the semis. We'll see what happens on
Right.
Friday nights. Division 4 select, got some good ones here. We'll see what happens. We start off with the number 1 seed, Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles. And they're going to play the 9 seed Ascension Catholic. They put the 9 right there because of the 9 rushing touchdowns last week from their tailback. That's why they have a 9 next to their seed.
Isn't that crazy?
Keep that in mind. But you go into this matchup, you think to yourself, Vermilion Catholic, they're well coached, they're well disciplined on defense. I'm not saying they're going to stop the run all night, but they're built to stop the run over there in Abbeville. Central Catholic, they're coming in with a lot of confidence. They scored 77 a week ago. Coach already said it in a newspaper article earlier this week. He said, you ain't going to see 77 points this week. He said it's going to be a lot lower scoring between two good coached football teams. So who wins this one? This is a big time football game on Friday night down there at Screaming Eagle Stadium. And we have an injury update. Vermilion Catholic injury. Running back losing. Headline rusher for season could be a key in this game. So if that changes y'all pick there, Vermilion Catholic's running back out for the season. Damn, hate to hear that. Big matchup in this bracket. Who wins it?
I'm gonna take VC still. I'm not gonna let it change my pick. VC as a team's a little bit just head and shoulders above, and at home, it's at home. They're gonna do what they do. They're gonna do what they do.
Okay.
My boy.
Okay. VC.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
VC.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't picked against VC in 2 years. I'm not picking against them again this week.
Me too. VC.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm going with VC. They still tough with their loss of their running back, and they play good defense.
Yeah,
you know, they're not opposite cats, but
they're well rounded. They're a well rounded team.
Absolutely, and gaps sound, and you know those they're gonna fill the holes. So, Alex.
See, Braden done messed me up.
What you got, buddy?
Because I could see this being a defensive struggle, but I could have also seen it being a shootout. You got good running backs on each side of the ball that could make some big plays.
I mean, if in honesty here, Mr. Dortes, the quarterback, is going to probably carry the ball 40 times for Vermilion Catholic anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
he's their playmaker.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah, go ahead. And I'm gonna stay with VC as well. It's tempting to go Ascension, but I think VC just has a little too much for him.
Coach, what you thinking?
Growing up in Cecilia, I've learned to never challenge a Dortes.
So
VC
I
all
was
the way.
right on something then just
It's
now.
VC all the way.
Yeah.
They all came some kind of way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going VC, even with the running back going down. Like I coach, I believe his younger brother's second string running back, and he's just as good.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, it's going to be high scoring with both tailbacks and quarterbacks going all night. But Vermilion Cavs go pull it off.
Yeah, I like this Screaming Eagle football team a lot. They're on the road, Gary. They're trying to get back to the dome, and they've got a good shot. They fell on the right side of the bracket.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah, they did.
All right, next matchup. This next matchup is the hash it out game of the week. These two teams have met earlier in the season. Riverside got the better of them. But you got to think down the road. You say it all the time. Hard to beat somebody twice. And when you got the #1 rated running back in the nation in the 2025 class, you got to think you have a shot.
Yeah.
With St. Martin's Episcopal going to be the home team here with Riverside traveling. So who wins this football game? Does St. Martin's Episcopal gets their revenge, sets up a potential semifinal rematch with Vermilion Catholic, or does Riverside go on the road and knock them off for twice this season?
St. Martin's going to get their revenge. I think they will win this
pick.
game.
Yeah.
They'll win it by 10. 10 points.
Okay. Jake?
I'm going to agree with Enoch. I think St. Martin's is going to avenge their loss.
Too much
Harlem
Berry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of Harlem Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, first game was a very bad blowout. They shut down Harlem. I think it'll be better this game, but I'm still going Riverside.
okay. Gary, road dogs, or are you going with home field?
Home field, St. Martin.
All right, here we go. We got an update from our stats and station. Riverside has scored on 12 possessions out of 16 on St. Martin's over the last 2 seasons.
Well, it's Riverside it is.
Okay, Chris.
I'll pick it.
Alex?
Did Riverside sleep through their second round game or the second round game
Yeah, they only scored 14.
and gave up 12? I
Yeah.
can't see St. Martin's being worse than Catholic. Give me St. Martin's.
Alex for St. Martin's. Coach, you don't know anything about both of them, do you?
All I know is Harlemberry left, Harlemberry right, Harlemberry of the middle, Harlemberry for the win.
Okay.
Yeah. Some strategy.
When in doubt,
I'm gonna say this. I coached
Wildcat.
this past year. I coached against Point Coupé. They're in our district. They got some big boys. They know how to play football over there. And Riverside squeaked by them. I don't think they could squeak by St. Martin. Like he said, Horn Bear all night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Riverside in a blowout.
All right.
Go ahead.
I mean, hey, we got the history
Back to
for it.
back
So.
blowouts.
It was bad blowout the first game. Like bad, 55-14.
Can't never tell. Still got to play them twice.
They only lost one game though.
Who did Riverside lose to?
It was somebody good. Hold on.
All right. A Washita Christian defending state champs.
They lost.
Welcome in St. Mary's this week.
They lost to Newman.
As much as I would love to see an upset here for our good friends at St. Mary's, that's tough sledding to go knock off a giant in the Washita Christian. But I'll let the panel decide how they think of it. We have a game update. This game will be on 92.3 The Wolf and also streamed on ocs.edu. So thank you to our friends in the chat there.
That's a Louisiana radio station.
Yes.
Definitely.
Mr. Enoch, Washita Christian marching back to the Dome. Do they get past St. Mary's here?
Yes, 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Jordan,
Our friend
as
over
much,
there at
as
St.
much
Mary's.
as I hate
but
Jake Bankston, you're like a brother to me, man. We still would love to get a helmet from you, but
you're not getting it now.
man,
You ain't getting it now. You picking against
I'm
football.
sorry, man. OCS, man. That's just golly.
Sorry, Jake.
I know, man.
But
We're
if
not
you-
getting that helmet now. Thank you, buddy.
But I would love to see an upset this week.
I would too.
That's my state champion.
St. Mary's? Oh, I'm about to say, that's bold.
No.
Bold, but it's not.
He about to put a big smile on Jake's face.
It's not completely
Gary.
impossible.
Watch that fish.
Yeah. Chris.
And my cousin, they went up there last week. She said when they walk in the stadium, they just saw banners.
Just saw what?
Banners.
Oh, yeah.
They said it was down by 20 before the kickoff.
I believe it.
And they just, she said everybody, the sideline was just
It's different there, huh?
100 players. That's a school. They just might as well make it all boys school.
That's not a 1A
It's
school.
1A.
Well, I mean,
later?
football.
Not talent-wise.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no. They're, I mean, they're
So,
competing
you know,
like they beat
I mean, a program like that, man. You got baseball championships. You got football championships. And
There you
it's
go,
something
Gary.
every sport.
Andy, if you can get me a Washita Christian
I'm
helmet,
also Christian, man.
I'll take you to anywhere you want to go for supper or lunch. If
Roots
you get
Chris.
me
There
a,
you
Roots
go.
Chris, I don't
Roots
care.
Chris, you gonna pay that
I'll
200?
pay that 200 if you get me that helmet.
And we'll
Good update,
see you
buddy.
at the Dome,
Lick your
Mindy.
boy.
That's right. We'll see you at the Dome.
People was talking to you.
Because you're going with Gary. Alex,
Washita Christian, man.
Coach.
OCS.
So how about the quarterback and the receiver breaking that 90s record?
That was nuts.
Yeah.
98
Yeah, I saw that.
yards. How many years later it was?
Too many.
2 minutes.
To sit in the stands.
25.
They
25
did
years.
they did a thing and they asked the dad and he told them he was sitting in the stands and he leaned over to his wife and said, "I think they just tied our record." That's like make your hair stand up kind of feeling right there.
Right.
They said they got 2 helmets now.
I don't care. Just get me one.
Just give us
It
the
don't
one
matter.
from 1972.
If
Yeah,
you get,
I don't
if you
care.
get 2, then Gary has to take you out on 2 dates.
Oh man, if you get 2, let's just
What
say.
happened to the girl that's looking
name
for
it.
somebody that's single in the
Get
chat?
the traditional.
No, that's-
Chinese troll farm.
Get,
You notice?
Yeah.
Hey,
get the
Hey.
traditional, the gold.
you notice
the
how
green
Troy
face
went
mask.
quiet after she
Yeah.
messaged him?
I can say this.
They
Washita
probably
Christian's going to
fixed
roll
it.
their way back to the state.
Mindy, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
can get us a helmet,
They
make
can
sure
hang
it's
another banner.
She still.
gold
We gotta
with
say
the green
James
face
Hill. We got Troy gotta
mask.
give us a
Eagle
St.
helmet.
James
Yeah,
helmet.
we did
We get a KDN helmet. They look identical.
Yeah, Troy gives us a
you
St.
got
James.
it. Whatever you want.
I'll pick it up Friday, Troy. Just bring
Only
it from Friday.
nachos.
Here, Troy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next matchup is the 2 seed, because I picked a Watchdog Christian also. 2 seed Southern Lab versus the 10 seed Central Catholic. Surprise, surprise, we're not the only one that has ever been denied rights to cover a game, Gary.
I know. Isn't that something?
Central Catholic's broadcast team denied rights this week at Southern Lab. So, I mean, we know the feeling all too well.
Look out. It's going to be ugly.
Everything is about $1 nowadays.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's going to be ugly
That
because
gate-
they did that.
No, Gary, that gate. But this one here, Southern Lab, runaway,
Yes.
Yes.
Lab.
runaway train.
Bad.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
Everybody wants to
Texas
see.
played them close at first. I think this
It
game
was-
will be close at first.
It was close.
Yeah.
For a
Southern
week.
Lab will have trouble for 2.5 quarters and then pull away in the fourth.
Okay.
They'll have
All right. Well,
trouble with-
it's still going to be a pull away.
I think they're going to have trouble for 2.5 minutes.
They got trouble.
It's going to be
You
over
think,
quick.
When
you think
he-
Central's going to fare
It's
worse
going to be
than-
over
than
quick.
You
Hey,
think
when
Central's
he's
going to
talking
fare worse
about
than
it
Hansel
was
did?
close to halftime.
Oh, yeah.
This was like a 22-22 game.
Who
It was
won
tied
between
14
Central and
in the
Hanson?
second.
You left it with the same Southern Lab.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
won between Central and Hanson? They're in the same district, huh?
Yes, they are.
I tell you this.
Central.
It wasn't bad. It was like
I have no
Southern
idea.
Lab is, like we said, there's new teams in the playoffs. There's teams that have been there.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of
If
them.
Southern Lab came out flat against Hanson,
Not gonna happen.
it ain't happening 2 weeks in a row.
You're gonna pick Lab, but you're just thinking of how to pick the score.
Right.
Okay, so
I
Lab,
think Southern
Lab
Lab
by 3 touchdowns or less, or 3 touchdowns or more.
3 touchdowns even.
All right, Jake.
Lab by a lot, as many as they want. Name
It's
your
going to be that bad.
Nah, Jake. Holden.
I got
I think
Southern.
so, too.
Everybody wants to see Southern and OC play.
Yeah,
They're real familiar
that
with each other.
semifinal been since the brackets came out. They have circled semifinal and said Watchdog Christian, Southern Lab.
Yep.
Battle it out to get to the dome. Garrett,
Oh, Southern Lab.
That is.
Chris.
Oh, Lab. On that turf, how fast it is.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be bye, track meet.
It's
Coach,
Yeah.
Labs JV will be playing the full court.
come on,
Put it that way.
Coach.
It's gonna be ugly.
I agree with him. I think it's
The wide
3 scores or
receivers,
more.
only the receivers play.
I agree. Southern Lab set up the matchup. Give us Watchdog Christian, Southern Lab. Give the fans what they want.
Yeah.
Make the people happy.
Good luck, Division 4 select teams competing this week. We'll see what happens at the end of it. We'll see who's playing semifinal football next week.
Oh, yeah, man.
We're going Division 3, non-select, ladies and gentlemen. St. Fred's got into Central Catholic's red zone 5 times last week and didn't get points. Southern Lab will make sure they put up those points.
Oh,
I agree. Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Ready, Enoch?
Yes, sir.
Number 1 seed Gina Giants, number 8 seed A-Meat Warriors. We go back to your statement. You said teams that been here before, they know how to win these big games. Gina, first time in the quarters in how many years? Jake, you can pull it up real quick.
It's
It's
let's
on
see.
Go
I
Preps.
had them. Yeah.
But so one team's been here. They've been making state title runs. I don't think Gina's ever been to a state title, but if there was ever a year, this is the year to
Yeah.
finally get it done. But they will have their hands full on Friday night. That stadium's gonna be rocking. That's 2 good football teams gonna play each other.
Right.
Enoch, who wins it?
Don't be shocked if A-Meat pulls this off,
Absolutely.
but I'm going to take Gina by 1 score. They get a defensive stop in the end, and they're able to take down the
This is
Warriors that
Superman
way.
in the chat.
But do not be shocked if A-Meat wins this game. A-Meat is
I'm
better
gonna
than your average 8
write all
seed.
this down. So Gina Amy from our good friend back in the chat again. He's laying it all out on the line tonight.
Jimmy Guthrie.
102.7 KJNA is the station.
It's definitely Louisiana Cajun.
Is on the Mixlr app too, so it can be listened to anywhere online. Okay. I'm assuming that they picked Cecilia over Jennings. I'm in Jennings Bulldog proud, but I don't see Jennings beating Cecilia. I watched North Dakota last week and didn't see any weaknesses in either side of the ball. We've actually have not got to that bracket yet.
Stay tuned.
What's your record?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for it.
Jake,
To answer your question, I think 2020 was the last time Gino was in the quarters.
Yeah.
They got beat out by these guys right here, LCCP.
Okay,
for a
Prep
natural
B.
season.
Yeah.
You've seen Gina, you and Gary seen Gina in person,
Holden
Right.
too.
and Holden. Y'all know what they've got. A meet. There's they've had a
It's not
Jagged
been the
season.
ideal season, but they're
No.
still here.
but they're still here where they should be.
Their health. I think they were hurt.
Very much.
They're
Yeah,
healthy
they were
now.
hurt
They're healthy
at the
now.
beginning. Now they're
Uh,
healthy.
Man, I'm gonna tell you,
Upset?
would I call it upset? I don't think so. I think it's Gina's time to shine. I think the Giants live one more week. Give me the Gina Giants
Okay.
in a close one.
Let's see. That is Jake. Okay. Holden,
Y'all can go back when we had our bracket show the first week.
you put Amy.
I put him eating the dome.
Oh.
They got healthy.
Yeah, you're right.
They got.
remember you.
Fine.
Go. I still got my previous paper you can look, but they
I
got
got mine too.
they got healthy, and they're playing really good right
Oh,
now.
that's a good pick.
All right. So you going Amy?
Oh yeah.
You going?
Gary Swallow.
I'm going Gina.
My initial pick was Gina on my.
When we did the bracket release.
Yeah.
But I've told everybody things would change as time goes
Yeah,
on.
I'm gonna roll with Amy. Like, they don't just get to the quarters and not lose. They actually get to the semis. Gina hasn't proven it yet, but
So prove me game.
yeah, it could go either way though. It definitely can go either way. But
I don't know.
Gina's got the talent, man. Gina's got talent. Amy's got talent too. But I mean,
seniors.
home
Gina.
field
They're
advantage.
building a
I think.
really good culture up
This
there.
is the
Home field
year if they
advantage.
were ever going to get there.
Right.
Alex?
I believe. I
Kind
agree.
of what
Couldn't
I'm
agree
thinking
more.
of a couple other teams too.
Gina is a real good team. They like to go, kind of smash mouth, run the ball downhill. I think they're susceptible when you get a lot of speed and athletes playing against them. Amy has that, and they have the history and experience. Give me Amy in the upset.
And just to inform people, I don't know if y'all remember in the season,
Big game too.
Amit almost beat Sterlington.
Yeah.
One possession.
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, it was a very close game.
And they almost beat Kentwood. That was with injuries.
It's not
This-
going to be easy
it's-
at all.
This isn't a runaway game like you see
No.
Gina number one. No,
No,
that is
this is
I
gonna
told
be-
Amy
on that,
would've had a
on,
bye
on
if
that
they
selection
didn't
show. I said that's probably the scariest 8 seed team in the playoffs.
Oh, it is. 100%.
It's-
100%.
That's scary, dude.
Amy,
Coach Angel,
Amy, I
what
think
you
it's
think?
scarier than Fair Kid.
My heart is saying Gina.
I know you didn't want to play Amy. You told me at practice.
Absolutely not.
You didn't want to match up.
Like I said, when I first pulled the bracket out, I had Gina circled. Just because I think talent-wise, it's their year.
JP said.
I'm going away from my heart and with my head a little bit here.
Okay.
And I think Amy's going. Like I said, it comes back to playoff experience. It comes back to, I think of coaches in situations like this. Will Gina's coaches overcoach? Will they try to do too much? Will they try to get away from what's got them there? Like I said, Amy's been there. Their coaches know what they're doing. There's nothing against Gina's coaches. Like I said, I just think I think Amy's coach is going to come in with just a little bit more experience, and they get the job done.
Good pick.
So I've been saying Gina. This was their year. They're gonna make a push to the dome. Gina has beat 3 top teams that are still in the playoffs.
Okay.
Magnum. They beat. Oh, I'm sorry. They beat Magnum. It's just Magnum. My bad.
So there's
I
just
looked at
one
it
left.
wrong. Yeah, one left. And they beat Bunky.
Yeah, they
Where everybody
beat
was running
Bunky,
high
yeah.
on Bunky.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were there. We actually covered.
Okay, so two signature
2
wins.
signature wins, I think. Now, I think it's going to be who's going to turn the ball over first, who's going to make that first mistake. Like Coach said, who's that coach that's going to mess up first? I think Gina's going to mess up, but I think they're going to overcome it. I think it's still Gina's year.
Okay. Gina pulls it off at home. He said also Tioga.
Oh, and Tioga.
Yeah, and Tioga,
Yeah, I
too.
just saw
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they beat Tioga. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Ty was not too shabby.
I think the talented running back at Gina puts the team on it. No, you know the one that got player of the game. I think he puts the team on his back, makes a big time run in the fourth quarter to seal the deal. I think Gina. I think it's their year. I think this is the year if they ever was gonna give it to. So I'm gonna ride with them another week.
Right.
All right, live on the Bogalusa Sports Network. It's gonna be the 5 seed Bogalusa, the 4 seed Union Parish. Farmers trying to get back to the dome. It seems like it's been their home away from home these last few years. They just have not been able to finish the deal. They've been close a couple times, and a couple times have not gone their way. But they find themselves a year past Trey Holly, right back in contention to present themselves to get there. But a lot of work has to be done. This Bogalusa team, out of nowhere, making a state title run their own. They got past Lowerville in round 2, got past Westlake in round 1, so knocked out 2 of our locals on the way to get there. It's going to be a good football game Friday night. Bogalusa, Union Parish, who gets it done?
Slight upset. I'm going to take the Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks on the road. Jake?
Them boys from Farmerville.
Farmerville, stand up.
And it's actually a tough pick, but I think Union Parish pulls it out. Close game.
Round it out.
Yeah, me too.
You like Union Parish?
Union Parish.
Union Parish.
Chris?
And Bogalusa had a not so strong Westlake team round 1. Laurelville team that's, they're a pretty good team, but they convincingly handle it. They're going to run into trouble this week. Because you're going to get run.
Power run.
Get some more run. And good defense. And it's cold up there. And they may just wet the field.
They might. Who knows?
He didn't
Nah.
say that.
They might.
Nah, I didn't say that. But nah.
But I can relate to that.
Nah. Because, you got some bad weather supposed to be hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
I'm
Tomorrow
gonna go
night?
Union
Oh, yeah.
on the win.
Yeah. Alex?
I like Bogalusa. I think that Bogalusa is going to have the athletes to use their speed, get around and outside on Union. I know they're susceptible to that. And I think Bogalusa's defense is going to make enough stops on that run game. It's not as special as it used to be. Give me Bogalusa on the upset.
Okay. Coach Angel?
Fighting Farmers.
Fighting Farmers. Seth?
Farmers.
Oh, shoot. Look, I put it in the wrong column.
Last time they won it was in 2013.
Union
Union
Parish?
Parish?
Yes, sir.
Does
They beat
both
Livonia in the
lose out?
finals.
They title?
Yes, 1947, I believe.
Hey, they got one.
I like Union Parish at home this week. I think they grind out a win. It might not be the prettiest win, but I think they find a way to
Oh, this game ain't
Get-
going to be pretty.
get by at home. St. James and Manny. To be the champ, you got to beat the champ. And the champs are going to go into hostile territory Friday night. And go down to, what you say it was?
Ashery.
Beautiful
Ashery.
downtown
Ashery.
Baton.
Louisiana.
Bogalusa has 2 state titles.
St.
Correct.
James, Louisiana. Get ready. I mean, St. James, Louisiana. Look at me.
Pretty much.
St. James
Yeah, pretty much.
football.
That's all it's in Dasher.
Get ready. The
Doesn't
state
really look-
champs are coming into town. You talk about a big time matchup on Crescent City Sports. This has the makings of being the best game in the entire bracket, but we'll see what happens.
Hey,
Enoch, who wins it?
Hold on.
Go for it.
Hold on.
Go for it.
Troy said he need all of us to pick Manny. The only way we'll do that, Troy, is to get us a St. James helmet.
Yeah, and show
Yeah.
up to a pick show. He said it's too far. I already asked him.
I guess so. It's in New Orleans.
He said,
88 miles from Appaloosa.
I hate that.
If he meet me halfway, I'll go get that
There-
helmet.
I
No.
can drive from Lake Charles to Quincy.
No.
Okay, give it
To
to
Claire,
Troy.
he can make that.
Okay,
No,
Troy,
I'm saying-
give it to Chris Friday.
Troy
Get
would
the
have been a
helmet.
hell of a guest picker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Him and
Oh.
Eddie.
Hell yeah.
Him and Braden.
Yeah.
Defending state champs in Manny. You got a really good team in St. James that's been there before. Like, this group has made deep playoff runs.
St. James, no They're no
They're no
slouch.
I don't wanna-
slouch
they're no
from a
slouch.
state title also a couple years back.
Yeah.
I
Right?
don't want to talk.
So, this was probably one of the toughest games to pick. I'm going to be completely honest. I flip-flopped it in my head looking at it.
Coin right here if you want it.
I already got my pick. I'm going to take St. James.
St. James at home. Yeah.
St. James at home. They're going to be able to do enough at home. It'll be enough of an advantage for them to win. And no, I'm not believing in your reverse psychology, Troy. I'm picking St. James, and you're going to like it.
Yeah. Jake.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, St. James has a very bad taste in their mouth from last year.
Manny
And
knocked
it
him out
wasn't.
last year.
It wasn't even close last year.
Revenge.
So you know, St. James is red hot right now and mad and pissed off and wanting their revenge. Credit Manny though; they started the season off not so hot, had to make some adjustments. Their defense has been stellar since going in the district. I mean, look, their 2 losses against Sam Houston and Newman. 2 really good teams with and Manny's just getting it together over there. Coach Dylan Baird's done a fantastic job in year 1. Got the community behind them. I'm gonna tell you guys, I think this could be one of those games where it could be a 41-40 type of game and double overtime. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna give the upset. I'm gonna go with the upset. Manny Tigers.
Okay. Hope.
I like St. James.
Mr. Gary? I know you didn't flip it high enough.
Okay.
This is not a trick coin.
It's
a
heads and tails.
Heads and tails.
So, home team's heads?
Yeah,
Holmes'
should be.
heads?
Yeah, Holmes' heads.
St. James' heads, Manny's tails.
Tails.
Tails, Manny.
Manny.
Manny?
No, I'm going St. James.
What was the point of that?
What's the point of the coin, Gary?
I just wanted to mess with him. He told me we wasn't going to use it. I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to use it. Well, that's on this one.
Man, I talked with
Best 2 out of 3. There you go.
I talked with Manny's defensive coordinator, Coach Danny Carroll, last week after the show.
Yeah.
I got the number. He coached me in high school. Great guy, full of energy. But there ain't gonna be enough energy for this week. St. James at home.
You know Troy ain't gonna pick the Tigers.
Revenge.
He gonna have to.
Troy don't count.
He gonna pick Letcher. You
And,
gonna give him what he wants?
He ain't picking us.
He's definitely not picking us.
That's poor Barry picking OC.
Yeah.
He ain't picking Lunch.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with St. James, man. I'm gonna get there early, Troy. Get that helmet first. Start working on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, Jordan, I like St. James too. Vachery's a tough place to go in and win, and I don't think Manny makes the trip and get it done. So give me St. James.
On road trip.
Yep.
Well, St. James,
What is the longest road trip this week?
It was
don't
on
know
Road
yet.
Preps. Go check their Twitter
Generate to
Must be
Haynesville or
long.
something like that.
page. It was something else.
No, that
Go
was
check
the
their
second
Twitter
one.
page. Go ahead, Coach.
I'm gonna help Troy out here.
Come on,
I'm gonna pick Manny.
You picking me?
Beat the champ, got beat the champ, right?
It's
Coach?
basically a coin flip. I mean, like I said,
You want to
I
flip
can
it?
Manny has a lot. I mean,
I
we
don't
know
even call it
St.
an
James.
upset. I mean, it's.
Manny has a lot of big game
it would not
experience
be
on
an
the road.
upset. It's just a great ball game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's Mandeville to Airline is the longest road trip.
Oh wow.
No, okay.
You gotta know Troy. Troy is the St. James.
North Shore to
He's
Shreveport.
gonna-
Oh yeah.
We're bad luck.
Oh, I know.
Seth?
I'm gonna say this: 106 and 0. Manny scored 106 points in 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Correct.
And gave up 0.
So they're clicking at the right time. You don't want to play
Now,
Manny right
they
now.
broke their district like
He
they
didn't play
know.
St. James. though.
Hold on. No. Hold on. It's not against St. James. It's not against a fire hot St. James team. But like we all said, the playoffs are a lot different.
They ain't calling for rain
Yeah.
Friday.
They clicking. I'm gonna go with Coach. I'm going Manny.
Pig.
Yeah, good pick.
They still
Going
can run.
St.
They
James
still run the ball very effectively.
to the semis for the helmet.
That's right.
What the hell?
Come on, Troy. Get to work.
Hook you boys up.
Get on it, Chris.
All right, we go Sterlington and Pine in the next round, ladies and gentlemen. 2 versus 7. This game will also be live on Sterlington's page. Pine, that's a long road trip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back-to-back long road trips these last 2 weeks. Sterlington, they started off slow a week ago to Mansfield, but they got it going, and good teams do find a way to finish football games. That's a good Sterlington football team. They get a win here.
Sterlington takes care of things. Pine has the right stuff to frustrate them, but Sterlington takes care of business.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah, Coach Lee Doty and the Sterling Panthers are
One of those
Or
teams
not-
accustomed to
yeah
Thanksgiving. week.
they're looking to reestablish themselves, saying, hey, we're still here. So yeah, give me the Sterling Panthers.
Holden,
Sterlington by a lot.
Garrett,
Sterlington by a lot.
Chris?
Sterlington by
I thought he
4.
was about to grab the coin or something.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I thought Chris was about to grab the coin. I thought he had it on his left side.
The only loss Sterlington has is the West Monroe week 1.
yeah.
Yep.
And it was
Long
And it was
time
close,
ago.
wasn't
A
it?
long time ago. It was Sterlington is gonna run away with this. Like Coach said, JV's gonna be
Runaway Jude to the semis.
That's right.
Sterlington. Good luck. Division 3 non-select. We'll see what happens. Let's go Division 3 select. We start off with the Yearview Cox game of the week, and it will be number 1 St. Charles, number 9 Notre Dame. This is like a 3 times in 3 years type of deal.
not
St.
4,
Charles.
maybe.
It might be 4.
Might be.
St. Charles has knocked Notre Dame out of the playoffs each year. You got to think the Pios wanted to get on the other side of the bracket this year, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar results, and he says 4th time in 4 years. Similar results here for year number 5.
They are the Piles kryptonite, I believe. I expect this game to be fairly competitive whole way through, but St. Charles is their kryptonite. The Comets will soar through.
Okay. Jake,
St. Charles Catholic.
Holden,
Gotta be the champs. You gotta beat them. St. Charles.
Garrett,
Yep. St. Charles.
Chris.
4 beat.
4 for 4.
3-peat first.
That's 3.
It would be 5 in a row over Notre Dame, but they're going for a 3-peat in titles.
3 beat.
Yeah.
Repeat.
4 for 4.
Mindy, you think
5
Notre
for
Dame
5.
gonna beat them?
Or Notre Dame. They knock them out 5 years in a row.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tripping.
This gonna be 5, right?
Yeah.
Mindy's funky.
Yeah, St. Charles. Be 5.
St. Charles.
More things change, the more this does
Coach?
change sometimes.
St. Charles.
Avoided that district.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Coach Cook had the Piles looking good.
Coach going for win 402 this week, correct?
He's not gonna get it. I love Coach Cook to death, but St. Charles is gonna be too much.
Yes, sir.
That's a different team over there, Bob.
I like the comments also on Quest to get that 3-peat, but
It's a good drive.
we'll see if they can get paths next week. You can't put them into the dome until they take care of these next 2 weeks, and next week's shaping up to be a good one if who gets there. We'll see. All right. Did they burn you again? They didn't burn you last week, Chris.
Nope.
You might as well ride the hot tail.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna ride it.
You gonna ride them?
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Lake Charles College Prep Cinderella. The dance is on another week to the quarters. 21 seed will play the 4 seed University Lab this week. Who wins it, Lab or Prep?
I wanted to pick Prep. I did. I like to see a Cinderella go far, but ULAB's going to be too much at home.
Okay, Jake.
Man, the boys on Power Center Parkway are red hot right now. They got a lot of confidence. They're rolling. They beat a really good Pope John Paul team.
That's
They
your
beat a
neck of the
really
woods,
good
man. Pick them.
Man,
Southwest.
just
Say it
can't.
with me. Southwest Louisiana
I
Pride.
love them, man. I love them. I'm swallowing
You
up
ain't a
proud.
real fan.
But I gotta be.
You
I gotta
ain't
be.
like Chris and Alex. They're
I'm
in
sorry,
battle with
Prep.
their
I'm
schools.
sorry, Coach. I love y'all, but I gotta go ULab.
I couldn't one up them there.
No.
Yeah, I like what
I know Barry
Lake Charles did last week. You know, they got a good upset over Catholic, Iberia, but I think it falls this week.
Yeah.
Big.
ULAB.
But they're in the step of the right. They're in a step in the right
Chris?
direction.
Man,
Oh, yes,
listen.
they are.
You don't let them burn you, damn it.
Right?
I love y'all, bro. I ain't picking y'all this week, man.
Good pick.
He's like, oh, nope, can't do it.
It just ULab is a little too tough, man. But that Lake Charles Prep team, that's a young team. They was kind of banged up this year.
Yeah.
And they healthy running right now, man. But I think ULAB will be a little bit too much for them.
Yeah.
Some of them roll with ULAB.
Alex?
Jordan, I like these 21, 22 seeds, getting some things going here in the playoffs. I don't like this 21 seed as much. Give me ULAB.
I like the way you were going there for a second. Coach Angel.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I have a Cinderella pick coming up, but Lake Charles ain't it.
Okay. So you only got one Cinderella. You ain't got room for two.
The other one I'm not even calling a Cinderella.
That's fair.
She was already had the ball.
We said it last week. Somebody dropped the shoe and somebody else picked it up.
That's right.
Central might have picked it up last week.
The one team you didn't want to get hot was LCCP.
Correct.
If the game was in Lake Charles, I'd say it's going to be close.
I agree with you there.
Mhm.
I
agree.
would be
Yeah.
leaning maybe.
Yes, but I got to go ULAB.
They're playing in Baton Rouge.
In Baton Rouge at ULAB. If it was in Lake Charles,
Yeah.
I would have picked.
Yeah,
I would've
it's
picked
tough.
Something to think about
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
The old Lake, it's hard to
Chris
win.
would
The
have
old
took
Lake
him to
Charles.
Charles.
Charles,
Talk
probably.
to me.
LCB Stadium.
Talk to me, Jordan.
When we had the bracket release show, I said University Lab's going to end St. Charles's
I think
quest
so.
for a three-peat, and this is my state champion, Chris. You picked him too.
Yeah.
So you didn't pick him to win a title though, like I did. But I picked him to win a title, and I'm gonna pick him this week again. Picking them all the way, Gary.
Go. That's what they're supposed to do. If ever that's going to be a champion, you got to pick them all the way.
Now I don't know how to pick this next game. Newman or Episcopal?
You
You got any concerns with this one, or am I supposed to jump on this Newman bandwagon?
Newman.
I want to say
Go
something.
for it. Go for it.
Me and Mr. Gary agreed when I came on the show that this team
It's better than
Is-
LCC.
better than with Arch Manning at the helm.
I agree. I agree. I
Most
agree.
They
definitely.
are rolling.
They are.
So they can finally get to the state championship.
Oh, absolutely.
I think so.
They've been knocked on
I
the door
even
so
think they're
many
going to get
years.
through who I got picked for the next game.
Okay. Newman Episcopal. Episcopal, huge upset a week ago. Do they get another upset this week?
Oh, they'll make it tough. I think if Pisco has a really good running game. They'll. I think they're gonna hit. They're gonna hit Newman in the mouth at first, but I think Newman's gonna shake the blood off and just they'll turn it in high gear. Newman wins this game by 17.
Okay. Jake?
The Greenies.
Yeah, I like Newman myself.
Garrett?
Hopefully Episcopal's not going to be claustrophobic, because if you ever played at Newman, you're in between all
It's
kind of
tight.
buildings. It's tight.
It's tight.
Yeah,
But
that's small, man. That's
Newman is
small.
going to take care of business.
Don't throw that ball over that wall. It's going to the port.
You ain't getting that ball back.
It's going to be in the water.
You is not getting that ball back.
I'm going with Newman on this one, man. There's only so much that Wing T can do for you.
Yeah,
Alex?
I think Newman big.
Okay. Coach?
Newman, pretty easy.
Seth?
Handling Newman.
Newman across the board. Got a shot to be across the board this entire bracket here.
To
We'll see.
get back to the semis to revenge that loss to St. Charles.
That's right.
Which, by the way, they don't like each other a whole lot either.
Nope.
No. No.
Parkview Baptist, Calvary Baptist. Parkview knocked off Dunham for the second time and twice this year. They're coming in with some momentum and some confidence. They're going to need all of it in order to knock off Calvary Baptist on Friday. Calvary too strong at home?
Yes, sir. Calvary's my pick for state. I feel like they're going to be the ones to knock St. Charles off of that possible three-peat. Sticking with it. Give me Calvary Baptist.
Jake?
Man, I'll tell you, Parkview Baptist is doing some great things this year.
By 2 touchdowns.
But a good friend of mine, former DeQuincy Tiger alum, James Wilkerson, who used to be former head coach of Natchez Central, he's the OC at Calvary. And man, to see what they have done, I mean, just even pre-split. Let's be honest. I mean, it's almost like they're the new Evangel.
They just made the jump up from 1A to this
I mean,
bracket
look,
last year.
it don't matter if they're playing 1A. They got 5A talent. And, I mean, they're dressing out over 100 kids. I mean, you see what they did to Bird. You see what they did to Captain Shreve.
Oh, yeah. Most
And,
definitely.
I mean, my gosh. Look, I've been telling people all year long, and I don't like to speak prematurely, but hand them the trophy. I know St. Charles will have something to say about that. Maybe you lab.
Lab.
Man, they are doing
Charlie
some
wants to
great.
be right about this one.
They're doing some great things on Linwood Drive in Shreveport. Give me Calvary Baptist big.
Holden?
I think everybody, if St. Charles wins, wants to see St. Charles and Calvary Baptist in the Dome. I would love to see it.
I think that's I
So,
agree with you on that 100%.
Adam Wardell's probably one of the
Calvary.
best quarterbacks in the state, in my opinion, for Calvary.
You said Calvary. Gary?
It's going to be a Baptist that's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm going Calvary.
I'm gonna say don't cop out here.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
land on
Calvary.
that one.
Pretty good.
I'm going Calvary. West, Parkview or Calvary, they both Baptist.
Yeah, hey, Baptist.
Steph?
Agree with the panel.
Calvary.
Calvary across the board. So the entire panel says 1 through 4 gets to the semis here. Let's see what happens on Friday.
Two non-select.
I mean, we might get cooking in a minute.
Yeah. We got some exciting stuff coming up.
We'll start out with Division II non-selects.
Oh,
This is a fun bracket.
this is the one where everybody's like,
Lord.
oh crap.
Joey,
I-
You know, I'm gonna be happier. It's gonna be a nightmare in the
There's
state.
a lot of people waiting on these picks.
Yeah, you right.
Jordy, I don't have to pick the first game.
Yeah, you can, my friend. They're not going to haunt you down. Just a cookie shop will.
Yeah, cookie shop, well, yeah.
They got some
You
good
better pick
cookies
them.
in
They
Iowa.
got some good cookies in Iota.
Wait.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Don't get them flustered.
No, that's
Off
it.
the beer, man.
They got good
They
jambalaya
got,
now.
they got good jambalaya, good gumbo and everything too over there.
LA 92.9 will be covering the North Dakota Iowa game, so another station covering a lot of media platforms out there.
I did not know that. Yeah, Cheston,
Now I
Forest,
want
and Patrick
y'all
Proud,
to remember
929
who
Lake.
feeds y'all
They'll
that
be there.
jambalaya. There you go. Been sitting restless for 2 hours now.
I know it.
Y'all all right down there?
We're good, man. We're good, Chum.
All right, here we go. Quarterfinals, Division II non-select, 1 seed North Dakota. That train is rolling.
Oh, you right.
8 seed Iowa, big win a week ago against Plaquemine. I know a lot of people didn't think they could get it done, but they prevailed. So they go into a rematch with North Dakota from the semifinals last year. So you know, a year ago they had a bad taste in their mouth for a year straight. So you're not often you get a chance to get a rematch, but here we are. North Dakota, they've been really good from the start of the season all the way up until this point now. They're going to be tough at home against anybody right now. But we'll see what happens. That's why you play the game. 4 quarters awaits. Who wins it?
I like Iowa. I like what their program is set up and how they do things. But I feel like this game will be a shootout because that's what North Dakota does, and Iowa will have trouble keeping up like they did with Cecilia. I'm gonna take North Dakota big in this one.
Okay.
I don't like saying it, but
Oh, I understand, but we got to pick.
Jake?
gotta pick.
You know, I'm gonna touch on what he said. You know,
He knows
North
about
Dakota's defense has been suspect all year.
I mean, they just score 80 and give up 60.
Yeah, and I guess that's okay as long as you get the win. But
Yeah.
Iowa, you know, we've all seen what Josiah Bushnell can do. I mean, my gosh, the kid's electric.
Oh, yeah. You can turn it up at any night.
Anytime. And no, well, I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be close for a half, but North Dakota has much more explosive playmakers. I know Iowa's
Stay
trying
with your
to.
chest in.
I know Iowa's trying to get some revenge here, but
Okay.
give me the
I don't have
Griffins.
to worry about
North
jambalaya
Dakota.
with me. I don't come.
North Dakota.
I'm not
is,
getting into jambalaya. That's okay. I don't come by that side of
North
the state.
North Dakota's they got unfinished business in the Superdome.
Yeah, it's revenge tour.
Yes, sir, it is.
Man, I hate picking this game. I love Iowa. It's just that's a football town, man. I love that. Is it Corbello?
Oh, yeah.
Corbello. I love that. The kid's a beast.
Great guy.
His mom and them, fantastic people. Jordy and them know I've been sold on North DeSoto midway through the season. I actually had them in the dome before it was said.
Right, you did.
Like I've said this from the get-go. But I think Iowa makes this a close game. I think that Iowa is going to score. This is going to be like over 100 points combined.
Oh, yeah.
No
Oh, yeah.
defense.
I agree.
But I'm going with North DeSoto.
Got to remember, Iowa's
No
defense
cookies
is
for
young.
Holden.
Hey, if y'all wasn't playing
Cookies
DeSoto, I would pick. Please,
Oh, yeah.
I've picked
Oh,
DeSoto
yeah.
since before the season.
Gary?
I'm going. I think it's going to be North DeSoto
But
in
Iowa's-
a close game.
Iowa's gonna
I think
score, I'm telling you.
Less than 3 points.
Chris?
So
And you know
You trying to
how
get to the next
Iowa
pick,
can win?
Chris?
If they get some turnovers, Iowa's gonna
it
win.
don't matter.
You want to hear it, don't you?
Nah, I mean, it don't matter who wins.
Alex?
North DeSoto.
What's up, Bryson?
I mean, but
Oh,
okay, they number one. So
I think it's gonna be the last team with the ball to win the game.
That's
And
what I
That's
said.
exactly
and
what's
I
gonna
think
happen.
it's gonna be North Dakota.
Yes. I agree. I think
Seth?
shootout. Last team with the ball.
Corbello. Iowa's gonna have the ball last, score last, and they're gonna revenge that loss from last year.
Come on.
Oh, good.
Iowa.
Good pick.
Good pick,
Good
Seth.
pick.
They're gonna
You're
play
getting all the
good.
sample
Iowa-
right
they're
now.
gonna And that's a team like that. If you see every team that play good defense,
I'm willing to
North
bet
DeSoto's
Iowa
tough.
does not get
Right.
blown out
You know what I'm saying?
because
And
Iowa
Iowa's
is
gonna
going
play
to score.
good defense.
Oh yeah,
all
they
four
yeah.
quarters.
But that's what I said.
I agree
Whoever
with
has the ball last.
I
Switch
think
them.
Iowa's
Oh, gosh.
defense is head over heels better than North Dakota.
Yeah, it's just
And
you're not.
gonna.
It's just you're not
put
going
them-
to.
they're
North
not gonna put them in the
Dakota.
point.
Nobody's going to stop North Dakota. They score 55 points a game, but they also going to give up.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I'm like
But how you,
Iowa. If Iowa gets turnover, Iowa's going to win
but
this
how
game.
you, how you slow that
If they-
down?
if they get
is
a
running the
turnover.
ball.
Running the ball,
You're
yeah.
not
You
gonna
have
score
to
that many
keep
points
away,
in the
but you
game.
have to capitalize when you
You have
keep
to
away
capitalize.
too.
Not.
But
If you don't capitalize on the keep away,
I tell you
I'm
what.
gonna say this: do not
Fired
let
up now,
do
Coach.
not let Iowa get momentum.
No,
Because
I
it-
want Iowa to win.
Because
They'll-
it
oh,
will
yeah.
be a runaway.
Right.
I'm
Well,
gonna tell you right now, just let Corbello control the
Corbello.
game with his legs, and they will win. I said I've just picked DeSoto before the even season started. Like I said, Iowa, that is my favorite school. I love them. I love what they do.
Yeah.
And I hope they win, bro. If they win, it's huge.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a shootout for everyone. I mean, you're gonna enjoy this one if you're a fan to watch this one in person. You said it comes down to the last person who has the football. Well, I think it's gonna be a walk-off field goal by Mr. Vest of Iowa.
Walk-off field goal.
Walk-off field goal.
that could very
That could
well
very
be.
well be.
You know,
He's got
this,
the leg. Man.
this is gonna. To me, this is one of the hardest games to call to pick this in this group because man, I think it's like me and Coach said. Whoever has the ball last is going to win.
There you go.
This could very well be the biggest program in the history of Iowa. Biggest game in the history of the program for Iowa.
Oh, I'm sure.
I
It could
mean,
be close.
The Iowa coming from what they used to be is now, and if there's any year or time or decade for them to finally break through, it's now.
Won't be easy.
No,
Right.
but
All
Iowa's
right.
got the talent.
Opelousas Lutcher, 12-4. Big dogs coming into town. Want to be the champ? You gotta go beat the champ. I hope Iowa don't pull a DeRitter. Okay. You want to be the champ? You gotta go beat the champ. And I think there's a dog full of hungry tigers in that locker room that are very capable of going knock off the state champs this week. But only time will tell. Will turnovers come into play? Will they show up off the bus with that mindset? A lot could go into play. They still be full from Thanksgiving, Chris. We'll talk about it in a minute. We're going to discuss this matchup. State champs welcome in the Tigers this week. Who wins it?
State champs.
State champs get it
I
done?
think
You ain't
Lutcher
picked- you
Lutcher at home.
You
Lutcher at
ain't picked
home.
Opelousas yet this year.
Well, I would say this: if Abbeville would have pulled off the upset, I would have picked Opelousas this week.
You picked Beauchamp over Opelousas too.
I did that just as a homer pick. I pick didn't mean anything, but
Lutcher.
yeah, I'm gonna take defending state champs at home. Hard for anybody to do it.
Safe pick.
Yeah, it's a safe pick. You're right.
Jake?
It's nothing personal against Chris or anything, but I just think
Man,
state champs.
I know there's no Dwayne Winfield for Lutcher no more, but we all know what Lutcher has and what they're about.
He actually changed his pick last week to Shaw over Evangel, so he went away from his pre-show in the when the brackets came out and went with Shaw because he felt, I don't know,
I picked them.
You went with Shaw last week.
I
Go
did.
ahead, Jake.
And Butcher's very tough to beat at home. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a really good feeling up in this town.
Mean Machine.
And you know what, Chris? Buddy, I think we'll roll with you. Give me OHS.
I don't want nobody to pick them. Where's some jinx on the table?
Give me Opelousas. I think this is their time.
Jake. Holden, who wins this game?
Man, what Opelousas shutting out West Feliciana was impressive, man. I mean, to shut them out. And obviously, Opelousas,
Like
their
the way
You
strength,
don't just go there and do
their
that.
strength is their defense, man. Like that's some big boys they got. You know, Lutcher's Lutcher, man. But I don't know. I think Opelousas got that bad taste out their mouth. What happened to them last year against Lakeshore, and I think Opelousas is gonna do it.
I do.
I
Garrett?
think it's gonna be 14-7 Opelousas.
Could very well be.
I agree, man. I'm going OHS. I have had OHS on my radar. I'm going with them. OHS.
Chris? Who wins this one, Chris?
Opelousas.
And
I mean, we just got to go there and play our game.
That's right.
Same thing as last week.
Like,
Same message.
go down and play our game. Like, someone just said in the comments, stack the box up, there with chest to throw the ball. You can stack the box up all you want, you still got to block. Every team this year stack the box up. And we rush for over 300 yards every game.
That's right.
Pick your poison. Because if you don't stack the box up,
y'all
we
keep
gonna
asking
spread-
questions,
we
get
gonna
them
spread
mad.
the
Come
ball.
on,
We gonna
ask them
spread the
questions.
ball. We're going to spread the ball.
And Mr. Malvo can beat
And
you
we
with
gonna-
his legs.
And he can beat you with his legs, and we can throw the ball, and we got receivers to catch.
Really?
But if you giving us what we want,
Well, so what has been the reason why you've lost a couple games this year?
Turnovers.
So you cannot go
Turnovers.
into a big time matchup and have turnovers this week.
Turtles Catholic, we turn the ball over. We dropped 3 touchdown passes. We beat them. Saint Amand, we botched punt. A fluke play, DB tipped the ball to try to catch a pick, and he missed it. But the receivers lay on the ground, the ball fell into his hand. Cecilia, scoring 52 points per game. I mean, they scored every touchdown off of a
Weren't y'all
turnover.
up 14-0 on Cecilia?
Exactly. Turnovers. We don't turn the ball over with.
Well,
So,
don't turn the ball over this week.
and exactly. So
No turnovers.
no turnovers. We won the
Very
game
crucial.
convincingly.
Lutcher
And
probably
then
has.
last week against West Feliciana, we left 3 turnovers. We left 3 touchdowns on the field. Turnovers. So we gonna go there
Stop
and play
turning
our
the
game.
damn ball over.
Yeah.
Lutcher probably has the.
Alex, all
best defense
Appalachian State Championship, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to go that way. Would be a really cool environment and good for the
Read that
city.
comment, please.
But yeah, I think if OHS goes over there and not turn over the ball, I don't know if Lutcher can stop them. And Lutcher doesn't put up points against teams that they should put up points against. Their defense is terrible, and OHS's defense is no slouch. So give me forward and the defense of OHS for the win.
Coach?
Damn, I was not expecting that.
I've had to go into Lutcher before in a playoff game. That is a hard place to walk out happy. But this is actually something. When I looked at OHS's schedule, I thought Zach was out of his mind. How many road games y'all played this year? 8.
All but 3. Yeah.
So to say they're road tested and battle tested
Y'all better say
is
me,
probably
bro.
the ultimate understatement.
Yeah, JB, I didn't agree with it either.
And like I said, I did say I had a Cinderella pick coming. This isn't one of them because I think OHS is better. You said Ford in the defense. I'm going Amos in the defense. I think they're gonna
Forward on the running and
they're gonna spend
I don't think Lutcher.
they're gonna spend all their time trying to bottle Ford up. They're gonna forget about Malvo. They're gonna forget about Amos, and I think they're gonna have some huge games. I'm taking OHS.
When we started the show, we said, "Who's been here?"
Yes,
Lutcher's been here.
absolutely.
Okay,
Trying to defend their crown.
this ain't Lutcher. This ain't the Lutcher of old.
Okay.
This ain't the Jarvis Landry Lutcher. This ain't
The last year.
Yeah, this ain't the last year Lutcher. Opelousas has, like Coach said, has been battle tested all year long. They are ready to go in a hostile environment at Lutcher. And I think I'm gonna give it to Coach.
I get all the heat off of this.
I think Opelousas walks out as a 2 to 3 touchdown favorite.
Come on now.
Whoa.
Let's
Whoa.
go then.
Whoa. I like
Hold
that.
the
That's
phone.
bold, man.
What he said? What he said?
2 to 3 touchdowns.
Flex on them then. I'm not going crazy like that. But I think I did put Opelousas in the semis, if you remember right, in the preseason.
Right.
And I like Opelousas on the road, and I think it's going to be a close but gutsy performance. And Coach has his team dancing into the semifinals. What a moment that would be for Opelousas.
I'm lone dogging again. I guess.
And before anybody says something, I'm not going to be here next Wednesday. Win or lose. Win or lose.
He still loves us, though.
I'm going to Vegas.
Man, that might
Hey, that's better. That's a better.
I want to go with you.
Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That might be the statement of the year I've
Okay.
heard all year.
They on y'all in them
For
chats.
2 or 3. Wow. I like it.
2 to 3 touchdowns. You were leaning towards Alex's with the terrible
That's statement of the
defense,
year right there, Jordan.
I didn't say Lutcher's defense.
I think Lutcher's going to try to stack the box and stop the run.
Yeah.
No, I said Lutcher
And then
didn't
they're
put
just
up the
gonna
points
gash
against
them through
terrible
there.
defense.
And every team did that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Let's see
Load
what
the
they
box.
said.
That's what he
That's
Head
what
on
he
the head.
said.
Pick your
Lutcher's
point.
defense is
Pick your
horrible.
point.
That's not what I said.
Oh,
I said Lutcher doesn't put up the points against horrible defenses.
damn, he hates River Parish, huh?
Damn.
We picked St. James.
That's Troy.
No, we did pick St.
We
James.
did pick St. James. We picked. Oh, I think St. Charles is from there too, huh?
Yeah, a little further down road in LaPlace. Still River Parish.
All right, here we go. Assumption and Northwest. Tell me if you're a war horse tonight, Mr. Enoch.
I'm gonna take Assumption in this game.
War horse.
Nothing.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely nothing
It
against
is.
Northwest. Respect to Northwest, Alex,
Assumption.
Coach Edwards, all of that.
War horse.
Warhorse is going to be a little. They're going to be riding a little too strong. I think this game will be fairly close.
Hey, incredible season.
Yes. Win or lose, Northwest did an amazing job this year.
just by 22.
My boy Lee.
You know what's going on?
Go ahead.
He,
He's true though. It's not last
either that or he's reverse. I don't know.
No, lead pride of Opelousas right here, huh?
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Clark,
Lose,
huh?
maybe.
Right.
But yeah, Warhorses take care of it.
Jake,
Jake.
you on the war horses too?
War horses.
Assumption.
You thinking of Peabody?
Yeah.
Mustang.
Mustang.
Assumption's a
Mustang.
Mustang.
The
Buddy.
Mustangs.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Where the war horses come from?
What y'all looking for?
Hey,
I know my mascots,
I
man.
get too good for.
He's medicated, guys. Leave him
Oh,
alone.
I was playing along with it.
I'm under a lot of medication from the kidney stones.
ouch. Yeah, give me
So
this.
let's
Some,
restart. Are you a Mustang? Mustang power?
Yep.
Alex,
I
I'm
was playing
sorry,
along
man.
with it. I knew it wasn't
Alex, I'm
Walmart.
sorry, bro. Hey, it's been a good run, but give the Assumption Mustangs.
Don't give him your sorrows.
It'll be alright.
He's picking assumption too.
Break out the round ball.
I
Break
doubt
out the
that.
round ball.
For
I
psychology,
doubt it.
maybe. I mean, maybe.
Holding
Break
lead.
out the round
Just to
ball.
give you an idea, so Assumption against good teams have gotten blown out, but they did beat Lutcher. So what does that say about Lutcher?
Says a lot.
Everybody else that they've played has been.
I'll tell you what that says.
I like Northwest, man.
I'll tell you what that says. Assumption's still a damn good
You
team.
know what? Give me,
regardless.
you
I
know
know-
what?
I didn't say
I like
they
the
not.
war horses in this one. Y'all like the war horses?
I like
in
the
this one?
Raiders in this one.
If he's picking.
You took Gary.
They playing good right now, man. Northwest is playing good.
Gary,
Hey,
war
you're
horses
Picking
or
Northwest,
Raiders?
I'll
Yeah,
be
I'm
shocked
going with
if
Northwest.
Alex picks again.
I'm picking Northwest. I think they're gonna.
Chris, what
I think they're
horses
gonna
on
shock
Northwest?
somebody.
Yep.
Northwest, good defense. I mean, stop the
Good
run,
game against Lutcher.
score points, low scoring game. Like I said last week, Coach Evans not a grind it out.
Lost to Edie White and St. James.
Yeah. Coach Evans not a grind it out.
Yes.
Better fill in the
But
playoffs.
that's what I just said.
He
though.
watched
Against
defenses
good
like
teams,
locked
they're
down.
losing.
Alex, war
All right.
horses or the Mustangs?
So I'm gonna give 1 point, and then I'm gonna make my pick.
You know, we
My
already
buddies,
know who you
my
picking.
buddies here at St. Ed's played a team that Assumption played, and they lost 48-41.
Early in the season?
Early.
Week 1.
Well, yeah. St. Ed's went to South Lafourche, lost 48.
No, they can't play us. We lost at home,
Yeah, 24-12.
Yeah.
24-12.
Teams are different this time around.
South Lafourche played them later in the year and lost 48-41.
I think that's where Stives from, Lafourche Parish.
So when I look at it, if St. Ed's can hold a team, if St. Ed's can hold a team to 24 points, and then
That's great.
they go put up 41 on them.
Right.
I think our defense can hang, and I don't know if they can stop us. Give me Northwest.
Northwest and
Double
the
digits.
3-quarterback system.
Double digits. Again.
Keep in mind, Wasson had a good defense in Northwest.
Dang,
Still,
you put an A down at Assumption for Alex.
Hey, you better change it.
Better change that.
Cross that. Coach?
Look, I've seen what a healthy Reese can do. Those two outside backers Northwest has got is something special.
You did say this is the best offensive line you've ever faced.
Best offensive line I've faced. I've definitely faced this year. In recent memory, I haven't seen a collective unit as good as they have. At least I haven't coached against a team like that. I hate to say that Northwest's Cinderella run will end next week against Cecilia,
I caught myself.
but it will definitely
I
be
remember what
ending
the school was saying.
against Cecilia.
Coach, they were saying horsepower. Not war horses.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was the medicine. Coach?
It's a meme now on this page.
Yes.
I tell you what,
They call
Alex,
something
I will
war
definitely
horses.
be at the game next week
Me too.
watching Northwest against Cecilia.
I hear you.
So I'm taking Northwest
With a green shirt on.
with a green shirt on.
With a red.
heck, I might come join y'all, coach.
I love Coach Edwards.
I might come join
I
y'all,
love
coach.
the way he coaches. I love what he does. I think they're pulling this one out. Like I said, I'm looking forward to that
Coach, good pick.
next week's match.
Yeah, my fault on the war
I wanna
horse
go back to
guy.
your
I feel like
history on
I feel like
What's up?
a
Because
dud.
they haven't been here since the
But they've been
here
saying
4
horsepower
times
all
in the
week, and
last
I got
week.
it confused.
You got it all messed up.
Coach, I apologize for
Meds, man.
the war horse. And
I will be with Coach and Alex
no, you're gonna be
With
where Acadiana
watching
and Nicole
Northwest.
is.
watching Northwest and Cecilia.
Katie and Holy Cross.
Let's
The only
go.
way I'm gonna be at that
Next
game is if Acadiana.
Oh.
I don't know
Hey.
if they end up hosting. or not.
Acadiana
And we gonna
and
go-
Ed Nicole
listen.
and the Cindy's, you ain't gonna pass that up.
We're gonna celebrate and
It
we're gonna
depends.
Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm gonna pay for
How
it.
far the drive
We're gonna
is.
take some double shots.
You're gonna go to B-Dubs?
No,
Make sure
fuck
I
it,
ain't gonna be there, but I'm already in there enough for work. I'm gonna be there on my
So-
off time.
Northwest is gonna win this one,
Okay.
and they'll play Cecilia next week.
Am I the only one that took Assumption?
No, you and Jake.
Okay.
So I'll put y'all next to each other.
That offensive line,
Long.
I'm gonna agree with Coach. That
They
offensive
got
line
sitting furthest away from
is
us.
really good, and their defense plays really good defense.
I'm on the bandwagon, Alex. I mean, I heard they got some good cooking over there in Northwest. We tasted some good tailgating last week.
Oh, we did.
So,
Somebody knows how to cook.
somebody knows how to cook over there in Prairie Rome. The game is at Assumption High School this week, and I think it's going to be a dog fight for about 3 quarters, and then I think the Raiders pull away late. Too much ground and pound, physical brand of football coming
Too
to
much
town
Too much Reese.
next, this coming Friday. Give me the Raiders
I'm serious. I don't think we-
on the road. And then should be a close game next week with 2 locals in the quarters right there below y'all.
Be a fun one.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's that time of the week, and it's it's that time of the week. She's 10-2. She says she's trying to go 11-2, and she's picking Cecilia over Jennings lock of the week.
Okay.
Lock of the week, or we lock it in. Holly's
Yep.
lock of the week is Cecilia over Jennings.
I got it.
I hope I'm wrong, but I'm gonna take Cecilia.
I'll hold the key.
Man.
It's-
You got the
it's-
key?
Oh, it's locked up.
Coach, okay, put it in your back pocket.
That's it.
I won't be heartbroken if I'm wrong, but I think Cecilia wins.
Jake?
Jennings is going to play him tough for
Tough
about a quarter and a
defense.
half.
I don't want to hear the end of it
Very
from
much,
Obama.
very much so.
Really good
Coach
defense.
Brett Fuselier does a hell of a job with that defense over
See
there. But
locks everywhere if they win this game.
man,
Locked in the locker room, in my car. Here's
Lock it up.
Now, does Holly?
I don't-
If
I don't-
Holly now, if Holly falls in the playoffs as far as her lock goes, does she
She's
have
mad.
to choose next week?
Yeah,
She's
we're
gonna
gonna roll
be-
it
Oh,
out.
she gonna be
Oh,
mad.
okay.
Red hot.
I didn't know if
Who he picked?
Red
Who
Hot.
Jake picked?
Well, I didn't,
He
hold on.
didn't
You ain't
pick
pick
it.
I'm
you
hold
didn't
on.
pick yet. Oh, okay.
I will say this. I'm gonna make this point. Jennings will not allow Cecilia to put 70 on them like they did on
They just
Iona
took,
last
they just
week.
took that as a challenge.
Took it as a challenge. They won't. I don't
They
think
won't
they'll put
score.
up
I
with it.
think
No, they won't
this
put up
could
with
possibly be one of the better defense performances for Jennings this year, but I still think it's not quite enough.
Okay.
Cecilia is freaking good.
Didn't they play earlier in the year?
No.
Cecilia and Iowa played in the Week 10
No.
non-district game.
But I forgot it was somebody that Jennings lost to that Cecilia beat by like 40.
Oh.
Give me Cecilia by 30 plus.
Good God.
it. Ugh.
I'm going to see myself.
I mean, Cecilia, Jennings,
Chris?
Iota,
Iota and Jennings played a 1-point game.
Okay.
one, yeah.
Yeah, same result. Cecilia
Okay.
by 70.
Yeah, that's what
Coach.
it was. That's what it was.
I'm talking about.
I mean,
Don't let it
Oh,
bring
Coach.
confuse
we're
later.
looking at the same
Hear
thing from
that.
last week.
What you sipping on?
I mean, 70. I mean, they're gonna probably put. I mean, you gotta stop them trick plays.
And Diesel?
And
Yeah,
these,
and Diesel, yeah.
and the
Gotta
running back.
put Diesel in the car.
Said don't forget Corey Broussard
Yeah,
ran for two.
yeah.
215,
Alex, who wins
218
it?
last week.
I'm curious to see if Jennings' defense is any better than Iota's, because Iota did put up 30, and
No,
Jennings,
they play keep away.
Late.
Jennings
Shoot the clock.
Jennings does run the ball, I think, better than Iota does. So could they play some keep away, a little bit better defense?
Yeah.
Still don't think it's enough, but you never know. Give me Cecilia.
Who would you rather play in the next round?
Jennings. If I'm
You
being
said
honest,
fast.
if
You
I'm
said
being
that
honest,
fast.
I'm hoping,
No
I'm hoping Jennings
hesitation,
does it off
man.
the ticker, but hey, if it's Cecilia, let's go.
Coach, you got the key. Are you unlocking it?
Do I even need to explain?
Yeah, give us your intake here.
No, look, I mean, it, like everybody said, I mean, I think Jennings is built to their ball control. You know, if it comes down to a shootout, which I mean, Cecilia's going to score. They've scored on everybody they played this year. You know, if it's coming down to a shootout, there's no way Jennings can keep up.
No.
They riding the Diesel to the dome.
Okay. Diesel to the dome. You on board?
Cecilia by 40.
Whoa, I like that.
So this was a good lock then.
Yeah.
Guess Holly knows what she's talking about.
Speed. Cecilia by 40. Do not let them get to the edge because it's gone.
Man, that would be something. OHS, Iowa next week, Northwest, Cecilia next week. Boy, I lose my.
I'm going. If y'all go, I'm going
You
with
can't
y'all.
go both places.
No. I'm going
Sorry,
with.
send
I'm
half
going
of
with
us to one
Seth.
place, the other half.
I'm going with Seth.
Find a way to
I need you
speed
to
both.
run the clock at Iowa next week for OHS.
Okay, I would
Me
do
or
that.
him?
Yeah.
See, you can't go both places.
I might be up north. I might be in
Let's go.
Logansport or.
I mean,
All right.
I'll
All
be free
right.
next week.
But that's a good coaching matchup there. Dennis Gaines
Yeah.
versus Brett Fuselaire in the quarters.
I mean, Jennings gonna do what Iota gonna do. Run the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how you don't
It
put
could-
70 on.
Cecilia could be in trouble if Jennings plays keep away, and
Yeah.
They won't.
They
Uh-oh.
won't.
I'm saying it could be.
Jennings
It could be an
may-
issue.
Jennings may
Like I
get-
said, I think Cecilia wins. I hope
That's
I'm wrong.
why they play the game.
Yeah.
I think
But-
Jennings gets maybe 1 or 2 stops on defense all game.
Whoa.
The only thing Jennings is winning this week maybe is the coin toss.
Coach, you gonna call me and let me know what the score is?
Absolutely.
That's bold, man.
I'm gonna be over there in that reception
bold.
zone in the where it's
Definitely got that reception
boondocks.
back
Boondog.
The Boonies.
You've been on the little river boat outside the
All right,
stadium.
Division 2 select. Got some heavy hitters in this bracket. Let's see what happens. St. Thomas More versus St. Michael.
that's okay.
We're going across the board here.
St. Thomas More.
St.
St.
Thomas
Uh,
More breeds
yeah.
quarterbacks.
Name
St.
your
Thomas
number.
More.
Name your score. Cougar Stadium, too strong, right?
Right.
55-24 will be the score.
At least
probably.
30 plus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good 56
Hold
24.
it,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
sure, huh?
St. Thomas More.
You take.
Yeah.
Respectively.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm about
Gary.
to say, you gonna
Yeah,
take-
yeah, yeah.
you about to pick with your heart here, Bob?
I'm just making sure.
Be like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
go on a limb
Okay,
now.
go to the next one.
Brandon,
Next one.
Seth,
I like this next
okay,
one.
St. Thomas More.
Yeah, I
me
like
too.
the next one too.
Archbishop Shaw. John F. Kennedy, 4 versus 5.
I'll tell you who I'm taking.
I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, you can go off of the Shaw matchup against Carencrow in Week 10, which is still wow.
Yeah.
What a win!
I changed my pick. I changed my semi.
And then they came back from Evangel's early lead last week came back and win. So this team, it looked like they got all the tools here.
Yeah.
We'll
So
see.
I picked Evangel in the playoff preview bracket to get to this spot, but when we picked this game last week, I changed it to where I had Shaw winning. I'm going to stay on that Archbishop Shaw bandwagon.
Okay.
Keep it rolling. They're the Eagles, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. Eagles will fly. Eagles fly. Shaw will take care of business against JFK.
Okay, Jake. Home
JFK.
team?
JFK's got some athletes, man. I think it'll be a better game than people think. But in the end, I think Shaw's gonna pull away late.
Okay.
Yeah, JFK got a good. They got a kid committed to LSU. You know,
Isn't this your state champion?
no, Shaw is.
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
Shaw
Yeah,
your
Shaw.
state champion? So you ain't picking against him.
Yep.
Let me write this in.
Nope.
I'm going with Shaw too.
Yeah, they got that LSU commit.
I'm going with Shaw.
And Shaw got that
They
defensive
call
tackle,
it
man.
DB, yeah, but they need more of them. I'm gonna go with Shaw.
Shaw.
Shaw by double digits.
Okay. Seth?
Shaw hung 57 on Carencrow.
Absolutely. Every day of the week.
Coach Tierney has Shaw playing really good football.
That's a really
right.
good football coach.
Look,
And
they're-
Coach Tierney
yeah.
has been in the playoffs a lot.
Cool. Shaw's running back just got a Florida State off.
But not just that, Shaw has a defensive tackle that LSU and JB's in the chats. LSU is looking at him.
Yeah.
JB could say. So I mean, dude, Shaw
So,
they're,
Shaw,
they're battle tested, bro.
Shaw. I think Shaw's gonna put up another 50.
Oh yeah.
Put up some points.
Shaw across the board, JB. You got love from us this week, but next week we're gonna have some decisiveness next week at Cougar Stadium. We'll see what happens.
JB, just remember who picked y'all.
Shortest trip in the state.
Who was
Shaw and,
JB?
JF Kennedy?
Yeah.
Probably.
He covers like what New
He's
Orleans
on a
area?
hash it out show host. He's a Shaw alum.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
All right, Night Train LCA, baby, let's go. McDonald 35 upset St. Louis a week ago. Can they upset LCA this week and kill the dreams of the redemption season that LCA has in store? Juwan Johnson, I can't see him going out in the quarterfinals. I think it's gotta end in the dome somehow. What do y'all think?
Dude, this game.
McDonald's 35 can, but they won't. They can, but they won't. LCA will win big, but I mean,
I wouldn't even say big, bro. I'm serious.
I have LCA winning state, so I
Jake?
got them winning. I had them on there for the preview.
McDonough 35 is not going to Lake Charles Sulphur this week. They're going to Lafayette, and it ain't going to be pretty.
I like it.
I like it.
LCA, big.
Holden?
I think LCA is gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a lot closer, man.
Oh, yeah.
By 60.
I don't think it's going to be a
McDonald.
I think it'd be like a 60 to 35.
My bad, JB. I didn't mean to.
McDonald's a good team. You know,
Yeah, they are.
they got some good athletes. I think it's gonna give Jawan's gonna have to probably run the ball. I think a few times this game to really open it up. But I think LCA is gonna. I'm picking LCA to win, but this game I don't think it's a blowout.
You think he breaks the record tonight?
Yep.
Friday night?
Yep.
How many yards does he need?
About 3 1/4.
He'll go get
And
it.
he's
He'll-
averaging like
he'll
what,
get it.
800 a game.
Is that about 800 a game?
They go get it.
Gary?
Lafayette Christian. I'd say about 2 scores.
LCA.
Name your score.
Juwan Johnson.
John Johnson.
That's his score.
That's his score. Jawan Johnson. As many as he wants.
He does what he wants.
I
He's
don't,
like
I
Honey
don't see
Badger.
that kid, man, playing DB in college.
Cool. There you go, Holden. Braden said LCA might beat them so bad they might drop 35 from their name.
Oh!
That's
Why
gonna be
is
the
the
I don't
There
know.
goes somebody.
Oh,
That's some badness.
that's gonna be the score difference.
Why is the 35 in the McDonough name? I never understood.
Like you just said, that's about how bad the score's gonna be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but why are they calling McDonough
McDonough.
35?
Number
You
0.
just call him McDonough?
Alex,
I don't know.
I don't know.
LCA big
I don't know.
league.
Maybe someone in the chat can tell me.
Coach.
Shout out to my boy Hunter Landry, LCA, Big B.
Atmosphere is going to play a big thing in this.
Light it up.
Just like Juwan Johnson will.
They gonna run out of fireworks.
I thought that Acadiana High, nobody could match the atmosphere for a 5A playoff football game.
Oh, there's a few up there.
Walk into LCA.
We've been there.
It is ridiculous. LCA will not only win this week, they'll win next week, and they'll meet St. Thomas More back in the state championship.
And that's when we got.
And
to
that's
There's a
when
question.
Juwan Johnson is going to avenge that loss,
And I'm going to have popcorn right.
and he going to win him a state title.
And we're gonna get the big popcorn
And
too.
he's going, and then
gonna
Juwan
sit
Johnson.
there.
I do not see this kid.
Thanks,
I'm
JB.
going to agree with Coach. I do not see this kid playing DB in college.
No.
I don't.
Sorry, JB. I love you, brother, but give the fans what they want. They want STM LCA Part
Yes.
2.
Absolutely.
You know LCA wants that one back bad. They don't care whether it's in the Superdome or in the mud.
So LCA across the board.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Turlings and Edie White. This one could be interesting on Friday night. Can the Rebels pull off a huge upset this week?
Madison Prep burned me. I
No.
really thought that they were going to beat Turlings. I really thought so. But Edie White's going to be too strong for Turlings. I think Edie White will end up being a better matchup against LCA anyway.
Anyways, not going to be LCA. You crazy.
No, I'm saying they're going to be a better matchup than Turlings
I'm
was.
reading the book, the comments.
I don't know. We'll think about that next week, I guess. But Edie White, big.
Oh, no.
Edie White, big.
They can win. Turlings can win. I'm seeing a couple of the comments. They can win. But
Jake?
I don't see it happening.
Edward Douglas White Catholic High School, sir.
Like it. Holden?
Big.
I like Edie White.
Garrett?
Me too, Edie White.
Chris?
Turtles.
Hey, we're not fighting for PowerPoints no more.
There ain't no PowerPoints no more.
But they're a good team.
Alex?
They are.
They battle tested.
Edie White's going to control the ball, run it, and I don't think Turling's offense is going to get enough opportunities. And if they can't stop Edie White's running game, it could get away from them. So give me Edie White.
Okay. Coach?
Turtles.
The spread at Turlings is looking mighty nice.
Preston Welch.
Mm-hmm.
He can play.
Turlings Catholic.
Kid.
I'm going Turling's Catholic myself, and I thought I was going to be the only one here, but surprise, surprise. Look, I got some friends on the show.
He's underrated.
Got what was that? Split 5-4.
Turling's upset 30-27.
Okay.
That was
All right, got 8%.
How many picked?
We got
Turlings?
8% left. to
About
finish
4 of them with you.
Last two.
3 or 4 of them with you.
How many went with Turtles?
4 went with Turlings.
Okay. Almost split down the middle.
Last 2, boys and girls. 5A football, Division 1-9 select, Rustin Walker. Walker coming in red hot this week. Rustin, talented defense.
Isn't this Walker's first ever trip in
First
quarter
ever trip to the quarterfinals,
Yes.
so you know they're on a high right now.
Who put that good walk?
Walker's first ever trip, so you know when it's your first time. You play with a little bit more umph when you get there. Who wins it?
Rustin. I got Rustin as my state champion coming into the playoffs. I'm not shying away from it.
Okay, Jake?
Rustin is on a revenge tour. Walker will not stop the Rustin train
Okay.
Friday night.
Holden?
Yeah, I like Rustin.
Congrats to Walker for getting into the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a damn good game. Walker's good.
I think it'll be pretty good.
Walker's
Yeah.
good, man.
Very good score.
Yeah.
Rustin wins this
Gary?
game 35-20.
Yeah,
Rustin.
it's not a bad pick.
Chris?
Not a bad pick.
I like Walker, yeah.
I'll say 28.
Walker playing some good ball. They got some great athletes over there.
Good ball at the right time.
They
Yeah,
do.
and
And remember, Rustin seems like they struggle. Like their
They-
defense is their strong point. They struggle to
like
score.
Rustin,
offensive.
that
Walker
game
can
last
do
week
it.
against Westgate. And should I pick Rustin because they're number 1?
No, we throw the seats out this time of
Yeah,
year.
there ain't no seeds.
Who's playing the best ball right now?
We'll go Walker, yo.
Good pick.
All right.
Very good.
All right.
I like it. Alex?
I think Rustin slept walk a little bit after having a week off.
Yeah, that bye could get
Happens
you
sometimes.
rush-wise.
Give me
Sometimes
Rustin.
happens.
Coach?
I'm going Rustin. Like I said, I honestly don't know much about the two teams other than what I read literally today. Just Rustin, I think is
Big Red.
is on their trip to the dome.
Big Rustin, Coach.
Rustin.
Give me Big Rustin at home. Home field advantage matters in this one. Walker will come in high. He did.
You're right.
But I think Rustin gets it done at home. Mandeville and Airline. You like points. You like offense. This is the place to be on Friday night. Two offenses are going to score at will. We'll see who's... Oh, goodness. God almighty. I'll send a
Ensminger's here.
Ensminger.
Hey.
Ensminger's in the building.
I'll send a Rustin helmet. There you go.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Steven
Steve?
Jr.
Hey,
Really?
Coach. How you doing?
He's on the staff.
I would love to
Oh, I
see
didn't
that.
know that. Okay. Please,
We
sir.
need one.
Yes, sir.
Mandeville Airline, you rolling with Mandeville in the Cinderella run that they're on. Right now, who wants to play Mandeville after their first two upsets?
Yeah, Mandeville's dangerous, but Airline will outscore them 70-56.
Yeah, probably.
That sounds about right.
It
really
That's
does.
a good prediction.
That's pretty good.
What you say, Airline?
Airline 70-56.
I like that.
Airline gonna air that thing out.
Ben,
Oh,
ben
yeah.
Taylor's something else.
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Make it
And
quick.
bookmark this.
I don't know.
Airline is a dark horse, not just this year, not just next year, but as long as Justin Scoggins is head coach at Airline High.
Hell of a coach.
Yes.
Yeah, and the talent pool that they have over there, oh my God. We could very well see Airline in the dome in a couple weeks.
Possible.
Yeah.
But they've got to find a defense. But like we said earlier, I'll score 50. I'll give up 49 as long as I'm scoring 50.
Outscore somebody. Hope.
Mandeville is scoring a lot of points, but I think Airline will edge them out.
Hope.
Mandeville's got a great running back, Nate Shepard. I got to give him a shout out. It's my rival. I don't like him, but he is one of the best backs in the state. He's a junior. They're going to run the ball. Airline, they're kind of struggle against the run, but you're not going to outscore them. Mandeville's going to keep it close because they're going to run the ball, but Airline's still going to win by at least 2-3 touchdowns.
Gary?
Airline.
Airline defense can't stop running water right now.
Oh, Lord.
I agree.
How they
Who
say
said that?
Well, just speak your mind there, Brady. Whoa, that was pretty
It won't be a
good.
shootout. I believe in that.
Although I do agree.
Chris?
Oh, Airline. They ain't gotta stop running water. They water gotta be flowing faster.
Yeah, you
I like Airline too.
And telling y'all, if Airline wins,
Coach?
that's a bad
Airline.
matchup for Rustin. Rustin struggles.
Airline.
Oh, yes.
And Airline across the board. What a run for the Skippers.
That's what I know.
Skippers.
I picked Airline for the state champs.
Big time football game awaits.
Oh, Mandeville's skipped Airline's fine.
That's the chance.
Very well
Skipper.
could be your state championship
Mandeville's
game here in the
Yeah,
quarters.
something like that.
Destrehan versus Zachary. Boy, were we treated with one here in the quarters.
I wish. I only wish I could do that.
Destrehan, Zachary, who gets it done?
Go out on a limb and take Zachary.
Not bad.
Good
Not
pick.
bad.
That's not a bad pick.
Man, I want to go out on a limb, but I just can't. I think it's just something about freaking Destrehan, man. Give me Destrehan in a real close one.
Okay.
Close game all the way through. Defense. Zachary wins 21-17.
Okay. Holden.
This is a damn good game, but Destrehan's got to find a way to score. You can't just rely on defense, especially against a kid like Trudez Green. You can't stop that kid. You can't.
You gotta hope you can contain him.
Logan Ford did last year in the playoffs. When he was
That's
in
last
Louisiana.
year. This kid's a senior. You're not
Yeah.
going to stop him.
Oh, yeah.
Grew up a little bit in
Yeah.
Zachary's program.
And they have a better team around them.
Well, yeah.
Give me Zachary. I think they finally beat the streak.
Garrett?
I'm going Destrehan in a close one.
Chris?
Man, one of my homeboys, his son is the running back at Zachary.
Okay.
Thomas kid, but man, the only reason why I'm picking Destrehan because they're at home and they playing for a lot. They playing for their coach.
Absolutely.
You know, and they still got the streak. So I'm going with Destrehan.
Alex?
Yeah, I think Destrehan's defense is going to be the difference. Yeah, give me Destrehan at home.
Coach Angel?
I'm keeping that same momentum. Looking at it when I looked at this matchup this morning, on paper, I mean, it's impossible to pick. I literally said, I don't know who's playing at home.